Hello everybody, how are we doing? Welcome to the final qualifier for the WardiTV Summit Championship. 4 more slots up for grabs today. It has been a continued journey over the last little while, and today we are ready to wrap it up and figure out who will be our final players advancing through. So, obviously already 12 slots are decided. There will be some invites as well, but invites are going to be limited. Invites are probably going to go out to Zerg players, to be honest with you guys, because quite frankly we have got almost no Zergs taking part. We have Shin, Solo's going to be invited, we already talked to him. And then I guess we're going to reach out to like Rogue and just try and find some Zergs in general. Like, we're just Zergless at the moment, so we do not have many Zergies at all. Lambo, I don't know if Lambo's playing at the moment. I don't know if he's taking a break after EWC. So yes, just getting a few things set up and ready to rumble. First round is starting. We might just be kind of waiting for round 2 to start up, honestly, guys. And kind of going in from there. Just because, yeah, not really sure what else. We'll see maybe if something pops up we can jump into, but we might just take it easy for the first few minutes here and then go from there. What's up, Photo Baz? Thank you so much for the 8-month resub. Good morning from San Francisco. It's a very early morning in San Francisco, mate. That's like good middle of the night. Alright, just had one player walk over. Okay, we can actually get into mana versus chance, or ordinary. We can do that. I actually like that one. It's a bit of PvP to start the day, but it's a round 2 matchup, so yeah, we'll get into that to kick us off, I think. Seems like a reasonable idea. He's barking. One sec, guys. She is just yapping away. Yapping. Cool. So we got a matchup coming in, guys. We're gonna go into the Mana versus Ordinary matchup. What is my favorite summer fruit? What are summer fruits? Like, what counts as a summer fruit? I don't even know what a summer fruit necessarily is. I don't know what fruits are summery. Where is Showtime and is Harstem casting again? I've got no idea where Showtime is. And is Harstem casting? Harstem only shows up to cast when he needs content, so yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. Like, Harstem usually shows up and casts like when he gets knocked out on Mondays, but yeah, I don't really know. Like, Harstem's probably not going to cast today because there's not many pros in the bracket either. Today's a very Terran heavy qualifier. It's very Terran heavy. Hey, what's up, Skrillex? How you doing? 39-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you. You're a night shift registered nurse? Oh, you got them late nights on lockdown then, huh? Nice. Nice. At least you're not like up like stupid early because like you couldn't sleep or something. Like, if that's just your schedule, then all good, you know. It's always weird when the Americans are watching. I'm like, I don't know whether to gauge you as like a degenerate who's not been to bed yet because you're up late playing games. This happens less now in the StarCraft community in nowadays. Like this, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I feel like we had a lot more Americans that were up late playing games and stuff tuned into the stream. But then it's like, you know, I don't know if you just woke up early or you're having a bad night. You know, like, it's always hard to judge the NA viewers that are showing up. Anyways, should we cast some games of StarCraft 2, guys? I'm feeling like doing just that. Hopefully you guys are as well. As we get ready to go. In the top right-hand side, our blue Protoss player here is going to be Mana. Taking on the red Protoss in the bottom left-hand side, we're going to have Ordinary as we get into game 1 of this best of 3. Alright, so best of 3 action, it is PvP. That's going to be double probe coming across the map because he's going to have a forge on the way up. So Mana is going to cannon rush. Mana's been cannon rushing in PvZ lately. Now he's going to bring it a little bit here in the PvP. I'm going to get this underway as a couple of probes. There's a lot of probes obviously pulling in, but as it should be, right? You really want to make sure that this gets taken down and you take this seriously. So there is a cannon as a part of this. It is walled in right now, so you can't really hit that cannon, which means that it is just going to get up. So that cannon will come online. We're going to put a gateway in the middle that pushes the probe out from the wall in. Oh, probe gets to the high ground. Oh, the probe's going to wall the other probes out. Oh no, and we are going to get another cannon down. Oh my goodness, sorry, it was another pylon down the high ground. That probe's going to run, regen some HP. Now you've got, you had to cancel the side. Oh, that's really bad, no. Cancel the cyber core. The pylon just going to use for high ground vision. But now there's going to be another probe showing up so we can continue the cannon rush deeper into the main base. And Mana, I think this is working out for him absolutely wonderful. I mean, this looks good to me. This looks like it's going to work. Let's just see that cannon continue to chip away. Gateway taking some damage. We do see additional cannons coming down, pushing toward the Nexus. And there's a couple of probes trying to fight the cannons on the high ground, but the cannon on the low ground obviously just means constant damage output on probes. I was going to say, you could go after the Zealot there as well. He's going to hit the Zealot a lot, and I mean, to be honest, killing the Zealot feels nice. That should be a cancel on that cannon, no. Honestly, he gets 3 shots off. Probably worthwhile, as Yeah, that gateway takes more and more damage, and Ordinary looks to be in a whole ton of trouble. This still that got across the map may cause some issues for Mana. He did not really respond to that. And he's got a high ground cannon now, and obviously because he pulled that gateway on the low ground, he's got the Zell to help out as well. And Ordinary just keeps pulling probes, and it's not going to be good enough. GG is called, and Cannon Rush Mana will get game 1 of the day. American up early to start work. Yeah, see, this is the more usual kind of, like, American scenario nowadays. Like I say, like, back in the day, back in my day, back when I was a youngster as well, it was all the, oh, yeah, I've been playing ladder for the last 17 hours, now I'm just going to watch some games. Nowadays, it's like, yep, just waking up early for work because, you know, that's how the world works. We have to make money, and yeah, that's pretty much it, you know? Our times have changed. As we'll get into game 2 of this Mana Ordinary series, guys. Anything else going on in the bracket? Gumiho going to play Rex. But Alex has beaten WardiTV to 0. Oof. That's the fast one. So, yeah. Some matchups coming through. Nothing really super crazy just yet, guys. Obviously got some good players signed up today. Probably only here for about 3 hours. It's not going to be a super long qualifier. But we'll just work our way through some of this and see how we go. As we get set up and ready to rumble on Tokamak in the next couple of moments. Now we're old. Yeah. Now we're old and grown up and we have to like show up to work and stuff. Like, I'm still just logging in and talking about video games somehow, but all the people that watch me talk about video games, you know, have to go to work and stuff. It's crazy. Like, sometimes I actually describe this as my job nowadays as well, rather than just, you know, yeah, I'm streaming today. I'm like, oh, I've got to work today. Oof. There was a point where I started actually describing this as work, and like, it's like, I think I would always just say, oh yeah, I'm streaming at 12, and nowadays I'm like, oh yeah, I'm working at 12. I'm like, oh my god. Was that the point where I got old? Is that the point where, where I became a grown-up? Oof. Oof. Bottom left, blue Protoss is Mana, and top right, our red Protoss is Ordinary. Formerly known as Chance, Korean player here, so like one of those Koreans that has played here and there, but has never really been like a major kind of standstill, stationary part of the scene. As we do throw 2 gateways down to start us off, get that underway, and see where we're gonna go. It's actually been kind of nice, these qualifiers. The top guys have kind of really spread themselves out the last few days, so we've had a few different names showing up to qualify each day. It's very nice to see, actually. It's very nice to see. Obviously, Summer Championship action itself will start next week, so we've got a few days before that. But obviously, we'll have our full player list from the qualifiers today, and we'll start working through some of the invite stuff as well. Over the weekend, I've got to sort StarCraft invites, I've got to do wedding stuff. All the admin work right now, guys. Brutal. You know you're old when you like your savory stuff more than sweet stuff? I've always preferred savory stuff, though. Maybe I was born old. I've never been much of a... It's funny, because, like, sometimes when I get the right sort of sweet thing, I'm like, I'm really into it. But it's very rare that I'm, like, really, like, neat, like, I'd almost always prefer to have, like, say, okay, say, yeah, like, I guess this best works in, like, a buffet scenario. Say I'm at a buffet, right? I would much rather, typically, have, like, an additional small plate of food or an additional portion of food from the main meal than to go and get, like, a dessert. You know, to me, that's how I'd rather fill myself up. It's kind of wild. I feel like I've always been like that. This is some of the most uninteresting conversation we've ever had on the channel, isn't it? We're really digging the bottom of the barrel for chatter today. More or less background noise now. Yeah, that's what I think too. And then people get angry at me if not talking about the game. I'm like, bro, I'm being the perfect level of background noise right now. Chill out. Twitch is actually like one of the greatest things for like background noise though, right? Like The ability just to put something on that you know is just going to be there consistently. You don't have to worry about like the YouTube flicking over to a different video or whatever like that, you know. It's streams are very, very good to kind of gown in the background. Oftentimes buffet suites are low in quality than the main dish. Okay, I don't disagree with that either, but like my point more was that like if it was not weird to like basically order a second main at a restaurant, I would probably do that over ordering a dessert. You usually have a stream on to go to sleep. You live on a major highway for your teen years and need some kind of music. Used to play the radio all night to cover the highway. Yeah, we actually we actually just started leaving streams on to go to sleep as well because it helps Helen fall asleep and helps her brain be occupied with something that isn't so interesting that it's going to keep her awake. Jonathan, I'll have 2 steaks. Ward, look. I'm not saying I'm going to order a second steak, but if there was an option for like my dessert plate to be like, you know, another quarter of a steak, sounds good to me, you know. Like, I'd rather order an additional side than I would order dessert. How about that? Does that work? I just sound greedy whichever way I look, but at least I'm not doing this and ordering dessert, you know. Could be even worse, I suppose. Very nice stuff from Mana. He's absolutely decimated that mineral line. That Oracle has put some work in. And Ordinary is in a whole world of trouble here in these early stages as Mana is going to be leaps and bounds ahead in this current phase. Blink finishes from Ordinary, but the army supply is not in their favor. And we've also got Mana, who's on the way to Blink, but also just has so much more economy. So he only really has to withstand, what, like, by the time this army gets here, like 20-ish seconds of Blink without Blink of his own. And after that, we're going to be pretty much just fine as Mana. Stasis Ward is going to help you buy some time as well, so that's nice. Comes in very early as well. It's a very well placed Stasis because it's not where you kind of expect it, but it's absolutely on the pathway your opponent might use. Stalker step up. Mana's Blink about to finish, so we're not even going to have Blink versus no Blink here. Mana will just step into this fight. Blink Stalkers will start a fight. He has the Guardian Shield in his favor too, so it really is looking great here for Mana. As our Stalkers will trade out, and again, Mana just has the economy to build it behind this. He killed a few more probes even at some point recently as well. And it does look as though Mana is just going to be taking the opening series for us on stream today, because this is a very significant lead. And I mean, Ordinary is going to basically warp in more Stalkers and go again, but the extra warp-ins are just not overwhelming enough unless Mana, I mean, it's just hard to imagine Mana botching the fight so badly that this works, is what I'm basically getting at, right? Like, yeah, yes, if he just sits AFK and lets his Stalkers trade terribly. I mean, this was him actually, he's been microing well. He actually did drop down a few Stalkers there. I think Mana also does not necessarily need to fight here, you know? He's got batteries further back, he's got warp-ins a bit further back. He's fighting, I guess, closer forward or further forward than I feel like he needs to. His batteries have come into play a little bit here now, and you can see the offset in Stalkers as some of his are just healthy after being healed up by the battery, and the opponent's Stalkers are in the reds, just trying to hang on in there. Mana will take that 2-0 and take this opening game, or opening series of the day, with a swift 2-0 at that. So Mana moves on through to the qualifying round. Congrats to Mana. Bracket's pretty fun, actually. Harstem Nightmare is about to happen. We could go Harstem Nightmare. The winner likely plays Gumiho. I actually think that's kind of a fun little section of the bracket to follow. I think that's a pretty competitive... There's actually going to be a lot of competitive qualifying matches today. just messaging Harstem a little bit. Yeah, Nightmare's here, so we're going to go Harstem Nightmare. This is another PvP, guys, but the winner will likely play Gumiho unless Gumiho gets upset by Rex. Either way, that would lead into a PvZ then. But also I'm interested because Nightmare's here. Nightmare retired. Nightmare retired, and yet here he is in the WardiTV call. He just couldn't stay away. It's like, I love the WardiTV events, you know? Does Qualifier feel super stacked to players record their games so you don't stream them? For replay packs? Usually not. Usually the replays are only matches that we cover. It gets a little bit messy, kind of asking everyone to kind of send all their replays over and stuff. Which is why on the Mondays we allow additional English streamers, because then they typically cover different games than I do. Which means that the Monday replay packs get kind of juiced up by all the other people that cover the games, you know? Yeah, I don't really ask the players to send their replays. I always feel like there's also that little bit of like, I think the players know like if they get streamed, their replays get sent out as well. But it's like, it's one thing getting streamed and your replays get sent out, and it's another thing like, you know, it's another thing like giving your replays to then be given out as well. So I also think there's this kind of weird thing as well, where it's like if you say you win your round of 8, right, but then you lose the round of 4, I then also feel bad being like, hey, can you send me that round of 8 matchup in that tournament you lost in the round after? So yeah, just a little yeah, I just something I honestly, players probably don't even mind it that much. It's just something I feel kind of uneasy asking for. We get plenty of replays for the replay packs, anyways. And obviously, don't get me wrong, there's probably some good games that don't get covered today. But yeah, that's the unfortunate way of the world. It's the unfortunate way of the world. Do 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 do. Pokemon going to be a map here for this PvP. And we are going to go. Nightmare. How good is Nightmare right now? Oh, God damn it, guys. Sorry, I forgot to run ads. Sorry, you're about to get ads for the start of the game. Sorry, I should have run them when we came out the last one. I was too busy reading chat. I just didn't look. Brain off. Brain off, streamer. Ay, ay, ay. Someone fire this guy. Ay, ay, ay. Excited for tomorrow, by the way. Tomorrow we're going to have Leo League Cup. After Leo League Cup, we're going to go into the Youth Thermal 2v2. Tomorrow's going to be a banger of a day, man. It's going to be a double stream with 2 good tournaments. It's, you know what it is nowadays? It's like, we used to do these double streams all of the time where it's like back-to-back events. And nowadays, we just don't really have back-to-back events. Or like, you know, like no one really, especially like, you know, I can't afford to run 2 things back-to-back. And there's not enough stuff where I have to like, be like, oh God, I'm going to have to run my tournament in the morning. And then their tournament's in the afternoon, right? Like, there's not enough stuff for that to happen anymore, so I'm just like, oh, that tournament's this day, I'll run mine this day. So, we don't really get these back-to-back events anymore, but tomorrow we do. Tomorrow we get the back-to-back. We're going to cover a whole bunch of SC2 for you guys to start off the weekend, and Saturday and Sunday we're covering more 2v2 action as well. It's going to be a bundle of fun. Looking forward to it. Really think it's going to be great, so yeah, excited to get this all underway. And excited for you guys to be part of that as well as we get ready to kick off in the next little bit. We'll see in the bottom left is Nightmare. The top right is Harstem. I've not really done the intros or anything, but yeah, Nightmare retired to be a Deadlock player and then is back. I don't know if he just like team contract ran out, he wasn't super eager to kind of renew with like maybe what they wanted, or maybe they didn't want to renew. And now, you know, he's just like, okay, I retire, but he's like, he still actually enjoys StarCraft 2, and he still plays it a little bit. He sees a qualifier, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a go, you know? I'm gonna play a little bit of SC2 in here. I'm genuinely intrigued to see what level he's at. Like, I'm excited to see, can he, you know, contest Harstem here? Is Harstem gonna show us that he hasn't actually played very much lately? As in, has it show us that Nightmare's not played that much lately? Because I genuinely feel like both of those are kind of possibilities coming into this one. Sentry on that warp gate coming online. A couple of stalkers, another warp gate coming up as well. Drop a pylon down too. Maxpax managed to pull the 2-0 upset against Alex. Wow. Honestly, Maxpax is crazy, man. Dude shows up to a qualifier, absolute underdog, and he just blasts in that first round every time. Shows that we should have never doubted the packs. You know? Hallucination flies into the main base. Couple of sentries continue up as well. And we just have the Twilight Council building in. The Nexus continuing online. And that Stalker going to ping at the Hallucination too as the Stalker and the two sentries gather up. Double through those rocks, knock that down. Maxpax the underdog, share the drugs. Well, I'm just vibing with the chat, you know? People are excited about the upset. Yeah, I mean, Maxpax is seed 1 for a reason, guys. I didn't doubt him. Is he seed 1? I think he's seed 2. Can we really seed Maxpax above Kua, the 3rd place finisher at the eSports World Cup? I don't think so. That was my logic, at least. Third Nexus coming down. Gets set up there as you do see a couple of stalkers and a couple of sentries making their way toward the middle of the map just for a moment or so. Not much going on. Harstem just going to take that super fast third Nexus, which feels a little bit risque. Robo up, but it's not producing at the moment. I'm going to start that Immortal now, but every second kind of counts, right? You know, that's a few seconds where Immortal 2 may not be able to get into play in time. Nightmare's going to move out. We'll have Blink soon. Going to intercept these two Adepts, fortunately, as well. Just kind of in the right place at the right time. And the third Nexus starts from him, so he'll kind of just play catch-up on the third. As the Adepts play getaway. And the Stalker Sentry Force looks as though, at least for now, will continue forward a couple of moments. Maxpax has never lost a match at EWC. But he's also never won a match at EWC. What do you like more, the amount of losses or the amount of wins? Stalker's blink up, Gateway will take a few shots of damage. Obviously this is where you have a few moments here as Nightmare to really get something done where Harstem is behind. And you are kind of ahead because Harstem again just took that third base so quickly. So you have the chance to get in and do some damage. When I say Harstem's behind, he's behind on kind of the units. He's behind on the defensive setup. He does force the Stalkers to recall. 3 probes went down. Kind of helps Nightmare out, though, as his own third finishes. He's actually going to be on kind of a worker lead slash still just similar workers here. Light gateways coming up. Robot facility starting. Oh, that's going to go up in the corner as well. 5 gateways right now. Really powering through that higher unit count. And like I think I'm almost surprised not to see charge starting when your opponent's going to be like on such a focus of Immortals. Don't get me wrong, like a lot of Stalks can do well, but I think I would actually just like to see some Zealots. Oh, he starts charge now. Yeah, just some Zealots because they're really going to help to nullify the Immortals, and especially when you get into this amount of gates, just one warp in a Zealots alone can be such a cool, like, frontline tanking force. So I would kind of like to see that as a couple of units gather at the front. The Zealots will gather there also. Just take ourselves some setup time now. You see Harstem's setup going to be Glaives. Glaives is very good for someone that's going into the Zealots to potentially punish the Immortals a little bit, right? So there is going to be kind of that in play as well. So a couple different ways to look at this so far. More weapons coming through again. +1 in the Glaives coming online. 7 additional gates coming up as we speak. I'm over halfway done, and the army of Nightmare moving over to the right hand side. Zealot, Stalker, Sentry ready to come and press the front. Now Glaives is not done just yet. If we fight before Glaives, then I like it for Nightmare. If we fight anytime after Glaives, I do feel kind of scared because Harstem obviously, like, his army is an aggressive composition too. So he is also looking to build units. He's also looking to kind of stack up a bunch of gateway forces, and his gateway forces should be able to trade very well here. Set. Just going to see a couple of shots going through. Zealot's going to charge straight in. Going to be able to start jumping onto these Immortals as we just have the Zealots on running. Honestly, not enough adepts right now from Harstem, so I think the timing window here from Nightmare has been very good as he comes straight in. Prism has to continue to play evacuation mode. See a few more adepts warping in behind all of this. That Immortal goes down, that Prism goes down. Harstem does not have the defense necessary. I actually just think he was a few moments away from having another warp in or two, and I think this is a very different fight. Just if you have more adepts from the very start, hitting those Zealots, it's a very different situation. The Nightmare really able to jump on that fight and force that fight before that adept count was good enough. The Zealots were clearly an issue, and Harstem had no answer to those Zealots in that moment. GG. Alright, Nightmare takes game 1. Man, I don't know what it is today. I feel really restless. Like, I'm really struggling to sit still. I feel very uncomfortable for sitting still. Does that make sense? I just feel like I don't know. I can't explain why. I just don't feel right. You know? Probably doesn't make any sense, but we go to ley lines of map number 2 here, guys. Try to open the window. There you are, guys. It's gonna get bright in here. Ah! Ah! I wonder if it's just a little warm. Nice and breezy outside. Hopefully, it can help us out. Oh, God, I'm not used to stream with the blind open. The light. Ah! It's okay. You guys don't need to see this side of my face anyway. Brandon's good looks were called. We are off and away into ley lines for our next game. Too much sitting there. I've not sat here for like a whole day. I've been sat here for like an hour, not even. I've been sat here for like 45 minutes. Is that it? My body's just like, no, you know what? You've sat here enough in your life now. Today's the day. We're going to make you feel like you don't want to sit there. Like this is just it. It just picked today. Today was the line that we crossed. It's too much. Madness. You know what it is, mate? Like, this is gonna sound weird. My toes feel like they're too close together. Like, that's the feeling I've got right now, and I'm just like, it's making my entire, like, it's making me feel completely unsettled. Don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. Alright, game number 2 of this best of 3. A second gateway coming down. And look at that nice fast nexus in comparison from Harstem. So Harstem is going to expand right off the bat. Try and take a nice early expo for himself in this one. Did I eat any shrooms? No. Had a very normal morning. I woke up, I went to the shops, I took a phone call to confirm some stuff about a wedding. I took Ellie out, walked her around. I made lunch, I ate lunch. I sat down, I did the check-ins and I did the seeding. I went live, I said, hello guys, how we doing? Welcome to the next day of the Summer Championship qualifiers. I answered some questions in chat, I smiled subtly as some Prime subs dinged in my ear. You know? I've just done a very normal morning. It's been a very normal morning. And now afternoon. No, I don't feel settled at all. Grrr. Council coming up on the side of Nightmare. Obviously, Harstem was playing that fast expansion in this game and is following that up just with extra gateways. He's going to go into a bunch of gates while his opponent goes Twilight. That kind of feels like, I mean, if you go a bunch of gates, it's either A for defense or B, you're going to put some pressure on, but I don't feel like it's going to be for defense here, you know? This is a game where... Oh yeah, this is a game where this natural expansion is very much so... You know, coming up, his opponent's not doing anything aggressive. Harstem knows that as well. So he's going to go 3 gates, then he's going to go Twilight. I'm super intrigued as to where he goes from this point. I mean, obviously, adding 2 gateways is essentially just adding 1 from the norm, because usually that would just take you to 3. You know, he's just going to 3 gates. It's not like he's going to 4 gates or anything. It's just to kind of add all those gates before the tech. That is a little interesting. Too much coffee? I don't drink coffee. I've not had an energy drink today. I've just had some orange juice. Besides, the sugars of the orange juice just making me, like, ready to move around. I don't even know, man. The council is going to be starting up that blink then. So you can see that delayed blink from Harstem. Like I say, he did not choose to tech early. He only had 1 sentry as well. This is why this is I guess why I was a little intrigued by the build, just because it's not like he threw a bunch of tech units down already, right? It's just 1 sentry and then stalker production. It has been purely stalkers, so that is some of the money investment. And yeah, he will get blink finished. He has the robo finishes quite quickly from Harstem too, so he gets that nicely set up for the follow-up. Then finishing from Nightmare, these first stalkers are already going to poke through. Harstem was quick to take a 3rd base last game. Nightmare's already in position here in case Harstem was thinking of trying to do the same thing. Hallucinations at the front will help to turn those stalkers away, just because it looks scary to attack into a lot of the time. Stalker gets picked off, hallucination moves into the main base, and yeah, the blink is going to be done in a moment or so. Observer about halfway done. Need to gather up for the moment as the Forge, the Probes, the Orbs continue to come down for the moment. Again, blink is going to be finishing in a second. Destination dropping. I'm talking about dropping, we drop down the 3rd. So that just gave me Nightmare though, with a little bit of pressure on the map, has been able to take his 3rd base that little bit sooner. Harstem not sure about taking his own until just now. You know, none of these differences are big enough to kind of offset the players completely, but it is, you know, a little advantage here and a little advantage there, but they keep going to different players, so again, just a few different ways in which their games have diversified thus far. I like this from Harstem, leading with the 2 initial hallucinated probes. Get an idea of where the opponent army is at before he, you know, ends up taking a fight or anything. I'm just going to hallucinate the Phoenix and go for the scout. Around that right-hand side, Pylon might see that hallucination, and maybe we can play for the denial and try and deny the info. It's going to get up. Going to see the natural, going to see no gases, or the 1 gas, sorry, on that natural expansion. So pretty good scout, going to see everything. So hallucination could not have asked for much more. Checks the 3rd as well, so saturation, sees no gases there. Again, you know just what sort of numbers your opponent is playing with right now. You know what he can kind of afford from this kind of a scenario as well. So got to be feeling pretty good about that for the moment. Lends you recharge to recharge up the sentry as ooh. Observer gets that was an observer, right? Yeah. Looked like a lot of debris for an observer, but yeah, observer just blasted out of the sky and getting taken out. Nightmare is going to show up with his army though, and he's got a couple of mauls mixed in too. Nightmare is clearly looking for that attack, no forge upgrade or anything of the sort, and just building into this. He's hitting at a time where Harstem is moments away from charge and moments away from 5 additional gateways. All of that extra production would help Harstem a lot, but he's not able to buy the time. He gives up a bunch of slow zealots, and he's not getting anything by throwing those units in. Now he does have that +1 upgrade. Is that enough to offset this army? And at the very least, your Nightmare's getting this 3rd base, but honestly, I don't think he has to settle for the base. I think he can honestly keep on fighting. Zealot Warfare becomes slow because it's no longer connected to a nexus, those pylons. Zealots are stuck in the back, and Nightmare looks absolutely fierce as he takes the opening series that we see from him today, 2-0, moving through to play Gumiho in the next round. Nightmare, Gumiho, Bunny Mana, 2 matches that are now set up to play. I think let's go, I like Bunny Mana. I actually think I like Gumiho Nightmare more because I'm really interested to see a bit of Gumiho and a bit of Nightmare too. Players we have not seen too much of lately, so I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Also has to give up that base. But if he gives up the base, man, he's in so much trouble because it's not like Nightmare is down a base either, right? Like, Nightmare has a 3rd base. So if Harstem gives up the base, he's in a ton of trouble too, I think. Just need to try and buy a little bit more time without fighting, maybe, somehow, some way. More easily said than done. Alright, we'll go to Korea. Gumiho versus Nightmare up next. I'm gonna throw us to a break screen, guys. I'm gonna walk around for a minute. I don't know what's up. I just need to walk for a moment. That'll be right. Alright guys, still waiting for Nightmare and Gumiho. Figure out what they want to do. Gumiho's not logged over just yet. I don't actually see Nightmare online anymore. I don't know what's going on. Bum, 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 bum. Like I say, if I can find Nightmare and find Gumiho, we can get into that. I should have probably gone Mana and Bunny. They've been in game a few minutes already, but no harm done. Maxpax also going to play Ryung. I think you'd rather go Gumiho Nightmare. I think that one's got more chance of being a little bit exciting. Bum, 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 bum. I guess, like I said, just waiting to figure out Gumiho Nightmare. I just don't see Nightmare online anymore on any server. Dude just beat Harstem and then disappeared apparently. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, just, yeah. No one's online anymore. Oh, Gumiho's moved server. Stop to career again then, and maybe we can find Gumiho there. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, what's up, Cyberfox? How's it going? Thank you so much for the Prime sub, 4-month resub. Hell yeah, thank you very much for resubscribing with the Prime. Will there be Zergs in the main event, or is Shin all we get? That really depends if any other Zergs want to play. Zergs are genuinely a rare case right now. Like, Zergs don't typically want to play stuff. Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. We got Gumiho here. Just waiting for him to be sold with Nightman. We'll get ready to go. Cool. Gumiho will invite us, so don't have to worry about missing the game at least. Maxpax Ryung just started. Yeah, I think Gumiho Nightmare is a much more interesting matchup than Maxpax Ryung, so that's why given the pick of TVPs in the round of 8, we're taking the Gumiho Nightmare match. I just think it's the most interesting one. Giga Chad Shin versus A Protoss. Well, Solar will be playing. Solar already said he'd like an invite, just he may not be able to play the qualifiers. So we got Solar. I'll reach out to Rogue. I don't think, obviously Sarah's not going to play. I don't think Lambo's playing right now. I even know, like, what other Zergs are there, man? Like, Zergs are just such a complete rarity in this day and age of StarCraft. Like, it's actually crazy, but, like, Zergs are just... They're not non-existent, but they're super, like... Zergs that play online events specifically are very few and far between. You know? It's not easy to find Zergs. We don't even have, like, a lot of up-and-coming Zergs as well, even, I would say, like Yakov. Sometimes Wayne plays as well. I've seen Wayne in a couple things lately, but I don't actually talk to... I'm hesitant to invite Wayne because the last 2 tournaments I invited him to, he didn't show up twice in a row, so... Yeah. Alright. Some videos coming through. Zerg's a dying breed. It makes me wonder, like... Does Zergs... Like how... Like... Does Zergs... Do worse Zerg players get buffed by this because there's less Zerg practice going on? Or are players just good enough anyway that it doesn't really matter if they don't practice against Zerg? They can still win those matchups anyway, you know? Yeah, Zerg's in a weird place for online events. Do I think Zerg has been overly nerfed due to Serral? No, I don't think so. Do you guys think Zerg's been overly nerfed because of Serral? I don't think that's really true at all. Maybe we should buff Zerg though, just to make some of them come and play in tournaments again. Is DRG still playing? I think he played in like a GSL qualifier, but he doesn't really play in anything else. If you go down the Aligulac list right now, let's go down the Aligulac rankings. Zerg players: Serral, Raynor, Solar, Rogue Shin, Lambo, then Cham and Scarlet. I mean, Scarlet has not really played. Scarlet's been playing a little bit, obviously, but I wouldn't say she's playing like a lot. A laser's there. I wouldn't say a laser's really playing much at all. And then Wayne. That's our top. That's the Zergs in the top 40. Honestly, the saddest part of SCT Pro scene right now is just the lack of players. Like, the lack of variety of players. I know a lot of people felt like this for a while, but... Yakov is ranked 44. Like, Risky is ranked 49, and I don't think Risky's played. What a Risky last player, and I didn't even realize he's going to be active on a league like. Yeah, he played in an Epic LAN. Yeah, Risky plays like this UK LAN event like 2 or 3 times a year, and he's ranked 49 in the world. Yeah, it's the Zerg scene is effed. Is effed up, man. Yeah, Zergs are gone. I think Zerg is the most APM intensive. I think Zerg have the most macro mechanics to keep on top of, but that's also simplified in some ways as well. I don't know if Zerg is the most APM intensive overall versus just like because they build a lot of units, it always inflates the APM a bit. I guys think is Zerg the most APM intensive overall? Probably is still, yeah. Just trying to think. Probably is. I don't think necessarily. I think the thing is like it's easier to play more quickly as Zerg though because of a lot of playing Zerg is routine. You know, it's getting into repetitive cycles and keeping those cycles going throughout a game, right? So I think a lot of Zerg APM is just because their cycles are they're heavily fixated and they've got more things to cycle through. So they've got more things to spend APM quickly on more frequently, if that makes sense. Bottom right, our Terran player here as we enter this qualifying best of 3. This is Gumiho. Top left, blue Protoss player is Nightmare. Okay, how about this? I think Zerg uses the most APM playing against the game, whereas Terran uses the most APM playing against the other player. Ooh, how do you like that for an example? I remember when Zergs got auto lava inject, and they tested this in the Legacy of the Void beta for a while. And Zerg became the absolutely most insanely OP race of all time. Like this was so ridiculous. Every Zerg was opening like burrow and burrow roaches and stuff because they could literally spend the entire game like min-maxing their micro on all the burrowed stuff and like because they never had to go home. They never had to look home anymore, you know? They just produced and they just because Zerg do a lot less kind of building of structures and stuff as well. Like the main reason Zergs go home is because, you know, it injects. So when you took that out of the equation, all the Zergs suddenly had insane creep spread, and all the Zergs were just super intensely playing on the map all the time. That beta became super ZVZ dominated, actually. There was that small period in that beta where it was very ZVZ heavy because Zerg just got so nicely set up. It was crazy. Auto inject was something. I always wondered if they could have played with that more. I wonder if they could have put like a I wonder if they could have put like a better mechanic in rather than just taking the same mechanic and making it happen automatically. Like what if, for example, you could upgrade a hatchery to automatically spawn lava every X seconds? But this upgrade is not this upgrade is not worthwhile to do early because it's expensive, right? So if you did this, it would not really make sense economically. You'd have way less stuff to spend on units. But for a worse player, that could be a way for them to still be better at the game because they don't have to worry about injecting, but then it's still not as good at the pro level, right? I'm just making this up on the spot, so there's probably some flaws with it, but that kind of idea, like, it might not have worked, but, like, I feel like that would have been more interesting to play with, right? Than just, like, yep, you instead of injecting, now injects aren't a thing, but you get all the same benefits from it. You know, so, like, it would definitely, like, make injecting significantly better, so you could be a better player by just injecting effectively, and maybe later in the game, everyone does upgrade the hatchery to auto-spawn the injects, right? But that's later in the game. You know? Now, there was definitely things that they just... All of these macro mechanic changes that they tested out in Legacy of the Void beta were like... They tested out, like, one variation, were like, nope, and that was it. And, like, I kind of didn't want them to change anything myself at the time personally, but I think they could have done a much better job exploring different numbers. Same with the worker start. They just went to 12 workers. What if they tried 9 worker start? Or if they tried 10 worker start, you know? Like, we didn't have to go to 12. You know? That's something they just decided to try and then they never went back from. So it would have been really interesting to try a few more of these things, a few more of these numbers, and to truly, like, really see the impact that it had. But it was not to be, I suppose. Expensive upgrades that remove APM game mechanics is interesting. Yeah, well, especially when their goal was to specifically, like, their goal was specifically to make the game more accessible, right? To remove, and a lot of people said, well, that's the identity of StarCraft 2. I think they were not wrong in trying to make the game more accessible. The problem is, all the ways in which they try to make the game more accessible like that were like throwing the paint pot at the canvas and being like, see, we made a painting. Rather than like trying to teach the guys how to paint, they're just like, see, we just put paint on the canvas and it just looks messy and whatever. And instead it's like you could have taught them to, like, you know, put the blue at the top for the sky and the green at the bottom for the grass. You know, we never try to teach anyone anything. We just said, let's take it away from you and do it for you. So, yeah. I don't know. I always thought it was just interesting. Kind of, ways in which you could have played more with that kind of stuff would have been cool. You see the robotics facility just coming through. We're going to be getting taken down here. This push from Gumiho has not been stopped at all by Nightmare. As though he is going to be powerful enough to get straight through on this and get the cleanup. As you see the Marines, the Banshees putting the work in, siege tank firing away. Charge is going to complete. And Stalkers going down as well. There's also a lot of probes going down too. Just going to be seeing that Stalker, 2 Stalkers all dropping. Probes still dropping. Yeah, Gumiho's obviously got this game in the bag. We're going to go up 1-0 in this best of 3. It would be cool if work count was RNG between 6 and 12. I think the problem with RNG work count starts is there's no way that certain numbers of worker starts aren't going to benefit one race more than the other. StarCraft 2 is too well calculated of a game that relies so heavily on that calculation for it to be balanced, that if you just throw random worker counts in, you know what I mean? Like things don't necessarily all add, because each race works so differently from minute 0. You know? Overlords, pylons, depots are all different in their own way, right? Like, changing worker count, like, it's one thing to have, like, it'd be one thing to have it differently, and that's just it, and we play the game around that, which obviously we did with 12 worker start. But to take, you know, if you threw it back to, like, a different number of workers, suddenly that might just, you're just adding RNG that might be like, oh, well, that's really good for Zerg and ZVT. Those things I don't think really add strategy as much as they just... They add around, like, StarCraft 2 is, like, the strategy in StarCraft 2 is beyond that sort of point. Like, it's not like, it's not just like, hey, now you have 7 workers, figure it out. That's not strategic. That's just like, oh, that's just throwing a spanner in the works for the sake of trying to mess something up, you know? That's like just trying to be different for the sake of being different. I've always been against that kind of philosophy in StarCraft. Mana with the 2-0 over Bunny. Oof. Bunny was telling me he wasn't feeling great, but he was going to try play the qualifier. I'd still like to invite Bunny if we've got a Terran spot available. Which we probably will. Congrats to Mana, though. First qualified player of the day. Yes, like I say, he's been playing pretty great lately. You're a StarCraft heretic, you find the busy work of all of that stuff not interesting? I mean, that's the thing, right? That's what's so hard to change, because for some people, those are core parts of the game, and doing those mechanics is what makes StarCraft 2 feel like StarCraft 2. And for some people, they're like, get that the hell out of here. I want a big army. I want to throw my army at my opponent. I want to micro it, and I want to build bases. That's the difficult part of figuring this whole thing out, right? Like, it's very difficult to... Yeah. Very difficult to add, to get all of that, to find the balance of what everyone really wants. I do think there's a big factor as well, though, where a lot of people think they know what they want, but they don't think they know what they want. Like, a lot of people said they wanted the macro mechanics automated, right? And as soon as the macro mechanics got automated, a lot of very similar people, a lot of the same people, because I remember there being Reddit posts being like, you were asking for this, like, you know, posting a Reddit post of them asking for it, and then they were complaining about it. A lot of the same people were like, this is terrible! You know, sometimes this feels like this happens a lot, actually, and in different games too, so I don't know. You want Protoss to receive the Zerg treatment? What's the Zerg treatment? Hey, what's up, Fuss Super? Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime. Fuss Super. Say Futsu? Itsu? I don't even know if I want to... don't even know if I want to really know. The zero strategy and injecting on dropping mules. Yeah, no, I can understand that part if you're more into the strategy side of it. That's where StarCraft 2 is very different as an RTS in general, I think. Where StarCraft 2 has this baseline mechanical layer added to it as well. So you're not just being asked to make strategic choices, you're being asked to make strategic choices while being able to operate almost as a machine. Like, you are the machine that makes StarCraft 2 work, right? And if you're a very efficient machine, you can make your StarCraft 2 work very well. You can keep your workers building, you can keep your mules dropping, and you can do all of that while making the strategic decisions and choices. But like I said, I think a lot of the macro elements of it, maybe they do hold back the strategy elements to some extent. But I do still feel like the game is balanced around that in a lot of ways. Like, the races would work completely differently if people could just fully focus on strategy and attacking and run buying, you know? And stuff like this. The game would look completely different. Like Battle Aces. Like, Battle Aces was a similar kind of idea, let's say, where you take away a lot of the busy work behind the scenes and you just get into the action. And I found that super freaking fun. But instantly in Battle Aces, every single game was, you have to start microing all the fights. There's always attempted run-bys coming through. There's constant pressure to kind of deal with map control and so on. Because all of your attention is going directly into focus on your units. And so it played very differently. And then when you let someone as good as microing like Clem and Parting play that game, it almost feels unfair, because these dudes are like microing every single freaking unit, because they never have to... They've got the time to focus on every single unit, which doesn't really exist otherwise. Oh, Nightmare! Intercepting the double Cyclone drop. Now, he actually is going to get rid of one Cyclone, the other will live, but still nice to stop that from coming across the map already. What's up, D-Mad-Cat? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 33-month resub. Ew, ads! Take my Prime sub. You know what? We will take the Prime sub. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream today, you want to support, and you want ad-free viewing on the Twitch, you can Prime sub us up. You will be supporting all the WardiTV events that you see on the channel and allowing us to keep on putting StarCraft 2 on the map with more tournaments. Continue to fill in the downtime, off-season, and all the rest. That sounds exciting to you. Prime us up, support the stream. Replay pack will be available soon for subs as well, so you'll be able to get your grubby hands on that as well. Love it. Love it. Honk this Gronk. Thank you so much for the 7-month resub on the Prime. Thank you so much. Ask Dustball on ads? Yeah, basically. Very much. You don't like the ads? Prime it up. Or you just sub regularly. However you wish. So Heroes 2025 subs are not easy to come by. If you do enjoy it, do support it. Because we need all the support we can get to keep these tournaments going. It's been a rough year actually in terms of keeping the events going, but keep going. Keep on fighting. Keep on making things take place. It's also just been a weird year because we didn't know what was happening for half the year, but you know. It doesn't necessarily help. Raven and a few Marines coming up as the charge is over halfway done as well. Factory going to swap over and build a reactor, the triple barracks. All set up, going to start some upgrades on this tech lab, I imagine, right now. Stimpack will start a few stalkers. Jump across into the natural mineral line. A couple of SCVs go down immediately. Marine's actually going to get a lot of damage here, though. Wow, we very nearly got a few more of those stalkers at the very end, so almost got a little extra. Not quite enough at the end of it all. A couple of Banshees gathering together still. You can see those Zealots coming forward. So you see those running across the map, which is pretty good info as well. It's also nice to see. And those Banshees gonna find their way in. No protection here on this natural expansion, so Nightmare will take a lot of hits. Damage will absolutely be done. That's already 8 workers going down. These Zealots are not making a move just yet either. 9 workers down, make it 10, 11. Go to the third base. There are going to be Stalkers moving into position there, so that is going to be absolutely defendable. And there's plus 1 on Stimpack coming through the storm, and the High Templars continuing out also. A couple of additional Zealots also on the way. A few more Stalkers will step up. Again, Stimpack about to finish. We got the plus 1 attack coming through. Storm is going to be done on the Temple Archives in the next few moments, so we get that storm completed. Prism chronoing out. Ready to lift up a few units right there as the bunker going down. The orbital command is ready to take position as well. High on the bottom, just going to be seeing a Marine dropping down. The rest of this army coming up that right-hand side. So again, taking position, seeing what we can do. Singles out, just wanders forward, gets taken out immediately. Stemming up one way, going the other. A couple of Vikings on the way out of that starport. We do have the armor upgrade coming in on the engineering bay. Fire will chase forward, a couple of those Zealots going down. The Prism actually finds a feedback on the Raven as it brings the High Templar up. Obviously those High Templar and those Stormers, a very scary prospect for the moment. Chunky units from Nightmare looking to move forward once more. Starting to step out to the top of the map. Nexus in the top left, Nexus in the front. Both of those coming online already. And 5 extra Zealots coming through, double Nexus, double Forge. The rest of that bio army still collecting together here just for the moment. One of upgrades again also continue to come up for now. Just gonna have those ghosts, the combat shield, the armor upgrade, a little bit of everything coming by. The armory is about to complete as well, so get that armory finished up. Solid Stalker looking for the chance to potentially press forward for a moment or so. The Marine It's going to nibble up onto the pylon there. The Zeld is going to go fire through for a little bit of work. Get more Zealots coming out. 1-1 upgrades coming by. The Robo Base starting in the natural as well. So we get that online, we get that going. Raven actually gets jumped on there. The Stalker's able to make that grab immediately. And this Bioforce able to get rid of a bunch of Stalkers right off the bat. So Stalker's going down. The Observer will be grabbed. Taking that out immediately as Gumiho pulls back over toward the right side. And 1-1 upgrades continue to come through. That Rover Bay now finishing in the natural expansion. And we press forward already. This pylon is going to drop right off the bat. Two upgrades coming up as well. Missile turret, sensor tower. Stargate and the battery still coming through. This army stepping forward. Another Viking goes down. Still a few High Templar pulling back. Another Widowmine shot going off. Not really able to do much just yet though, as the Bio still wants to step through here. The Ghost and the Bioforce in general doing everything they can to keep up this little bit of pressure at the moment. Again, the Stargate build and Prism's on the way. A few more cannons and the battery coming up as well. Stalker's going across. The Zealots want to try and charge up. EMP's trying to come down. And just continuing after that Bioforce, and these Stalkers trying to get a few more shots off. The Storms are pretty nice to push this back. Didn't Nightmare announce his retirement a couple months ago? Yep. And like I said, he retired, and he's here today. I have no further info. Pretty good against Harstem in the PvP, but Gumiho looking arguably maybe a bit too good in this PvT. Those High Templars don't have Storms! Oh my god, just drops the feedback. That means that everything pretty much dies. Gumiho identifying that and jumping forward in what honestly looks like a scary army to jump into still, but able to do well enough there. And Gumiho pushes this back, takes a significant supply lead coming out of it, takes a 5th base, flies it across into location. That's going to be a huge deal as well. Man's still coming through. And begin to move about. DC will drop down. +2/+2 upgrades on the way in. The extended thermal lance coming about as well. Prism stepping forward with the couple of High Templar. So once again, obviously looking for those Storms, looking to get those High Templar into action, into play, nice and quickly, get them to get something done. We're going to lose a Nexus top side. I mean, it does have a good few bases, good for Gumiho to grab one coming online when he can. The more you can do to slow that economy, the better. There's not often the case where you can just split a few units off and get a grab, so getting it while you can is well, awesome. Plain and simple. Put the stem through, the few Stalkers will blink forward as well. The Zealot Stalker in general moving back and forward. So on the top left side, going to get cleaned out as well. A scan up here as Gumiho tries to just see what exactly is it that he's potentially attacking into right now. And 2 more Vikings is on the way up. We get those 3/3 upgrades, producing 3 as well in the engineering base. Storm pushes the Terran back a little bit. We've got Planetary Fortress to help the DPS. Oh, good Storms on the SCVs. I love it though, using the Planetary Fortress to get the SCVs in and out, just to keep them alive a little bit longer, if nothing else. Good fight from Nightmare, honestly. Gets a lot of SCVs, gets a base, pushed a lot of the bio back. This just was not obviously all of what Gumiho's working with, but Gumiho having the rest of these units not in position to help at all is not going to do him any favors, and definitely put him into a little bit of bother there. So put him into a little bit of a tough spot. See the bio resetting for the moment. Solid Stalker all gathering together. 3-3 upgrades coming through. The Observer speed coming online as well. The Templar picked off. Good EMP goes down also. Couple more shots going through. Army still settling in the bottom right hand side. You can see the double orbital command coming up as well. Plus 2 ship weapons now on the way. Stalkers, Zealots pulling back out to the bottom for a couple of moments. Just going to be seeing this force figuring out where it wants to be. Siege Tank getting a few shots off. EMP onto a few Zealots. Stalkers pressing forward. You see this opportunity to try and break onto that planetary fortress. Not quite going to get the chance just yet. Proby's going down. The Liberator is able to strike 14, 15 workers. Dropping right off the back. A few of those Stalkers will get around the back as well. Nice job from Gumiho. Getting in and getting some damage done still. As these two have definitely come to a bit of a drawn out scenario here on ley lines. I mean, neither army really wants to go running straight into the other. One doesn't want to run into EMPs, the other doesn't want to run into storms. And so they're both just comfortably getting bases online with a little bit of harassment here, a little bit of harassment there, nothing overly crazy. I mean, obviously, that was quite a few probes that went down, so let's maybe say it's a little bit more than a little bit, but generally speaking, pretty fun stuff. Let's see the bio. Still going out to the bottom. Nice storm going down. Ghosts, Bioforce. Needs to press through. Another storm going down. A couple of those Marauders get chased back away. Once again. Overall, Gumiho not losing much supply in this, though, so still very manageable for our Terran. And the Stalkers up at the top side. Going to see a Ghost going down. That bunker in some trouble. A little bit of Bio getting jumped on. The +3 ship weapons. Poking for those Ghosts coming through. Rest of this Bio army as it tries to push on forward. Chasing a few of these Stalkers and so away. The Stalker's still trying to fight. The Bio comes forward, and the rest of the Stalkers do have to step out of this. So they are going to back it up. +3 ship weapons coming through on the on the armory, so getting that online as well. Bottom side, big shove, and this Bioforce starting to get on top of this Nexus. EMP coming down, some Stalkers going to get struck by that. They're going to get chased away as well. On the top of this base, you're going to get chased too. So both players taking a base out. Generally, I feel like that's always better for the Protoss. They have more bases to expend in these scenarios. You could also argue that this is a less meaningful base for Gumiho. He's also been denied from this location too, I guess, at the same time though. And Nightmare is so heavy on the gateway forces. 24 Zealots, 23 Stalkers, and then High Templars beyond that. Like 9 High Templars is obviously not nothing, that's a ton of Storms. But it is just super gateway heavy. Is Nightmare choosing Protoss or random? He used to be a random player. I haven't heard of Nightmare playing random in a long ass time. If he played random, that was years upon years ago, I think. He's been playing Protoss, I think only Protoss for a while. Well, Zealot's getting picked off. Let's chase those back. The Stalker's coming forward. And a little bit more bio on that right-hand side going to show up as well. The Stalkers have to go the other way. Zealots going to be jumped on. Nightmare gets pushed back once again as he continues to chase through. Nexus here already going down now. The rest of this army stepping up at the front. Gumiho establishing this base. These are the fresher bases that Gumiho really needs to hang on to as well. So the kind of base he really wants to kind of keep a grab on. Make sure the Nightmare doesn't just get the chance to take that down super easily, as the Zealot, the Probe, the Pylon will all get picked away at here as well. The Storm is taking damage. One more Storm coming down. The EMP drops. Nice Storm onto the Bioforce there. There's some more good damage done as the army of Nightmare goes around the bottom right. They've got a chance to run into this set of bases. There's a couple of orbitals that are going to be soaking damage at the front to begin with. As they lift and retreat, we see some EMPs coming down. The Liberator's trying to zone out as well. How many robos does Nightmare have? 2. And yeah, guys, I see a lot of discussion about it, but yes, Nightmare did officially put out a retirement message not that long ago, 1-2 months ago maybe. Well, I've got no idea. He's playing here today and he looks freaking good, so you guys know as much as I do. Maybe he's just kept on playing a little bit. Maybe it was just like, oh, my team dropped me and I don't know if I can continue right now, and then he still enjoys playing, so he's here. Maybe he just fancy playing today, or, you know, and he still looks good because it's very hard to lose all of your skill in StarCraft. I'm not sure what the situation is, but that's why I was excited to see him. That's why I was excited to cast a couple of his games, because, like I said, I thought he retired, so I was super intrigued to see what sort of shape he's in. And right now, he's pushing Gumiho in the later stages here on ley lines, making it very difficult for the Terran player to stay in this easily at all. Putting more probes down as Gumiho's harassed here and there with libs, and so has been extremely effective. Every time he does show up across the map with something, he actually gets a lot out of it, so finding a ton of value in those trades. Levels will siege up across this bottom side. The Bio getting over, Pylon and the Nexus both in trouble. The Tempo doesn't have any energy left on it, so the cannons will start to drop. This is big from Gumiho, going to knock down multiple bases, and right now, okay, Nightmare is making the move across the map to counter. Obviously, Nightmare would, at the very least, wants this base, probably gets this base. I mean, we're essentially just base trading. Oh, Gumiho turns around, okay. So Nightmare might not get as much if Gumiho can get back home in time to fight some of this army. This army right here doesn't look that powerful. There's no storms in it at all. So I'll see some Colossus added on. Ooh, maybe Gumiho just wanted some of the fresher bases, knowing that this one's been up longer. Maybe this is a prime target for him because he knows it's got more minerals available to it. That topside planetary did go down, by the way, just now, so that has been cleaned out. Gumiho losing SCVs alongside it as both players battle through. I think Gumiho's the one that's ended up in trouble, though. His 5 bases remain for him against the currently 6 base of his opponent. If this comes up, I mean, honestly, the base count's still pretty similar. Yeah, base count is still pretty similar. Gumiho keeping the base that we've just seen killed for Nightmare. This one here, kind of a big deal, although he's very close to mining out on it, so it is not a full base, as we see Gumiho find the opportunity to move further forward. Nightmare was up to the top side of the map with everything, so he's going to let Gumiho into his natural. Recall is available, but not being used just yet. Storm will get quite a few of the buy units. Here comes the armies. That's just going to get home. I don't think we like this for Gumiho in terms of actually taking a fight, no. Well, the blink in to try and deal with the Liberators is huge, because it means that Gumiho can get rid of so many of those Stalkers. They are beginning to melt under the pressure of the Marauders. Units from the top side from Gumiho as well make this a wraparound surround. He's going to lift up and leave at the end. 115 or 115 supply could not be closer, as both players have taken an economic beat it down, and both players have taken an army beat down as well. Gumiho drops down about 20 army supply total now overall. That's really nice from Nightmare, clearing up these final few units from Gumiho. In a game that's been as close as this, Gumiho needed to get away with those to keep it even. Now Nightmare's going to go darting across the map, and I don't think Gumiho's going to have the numbers to stop this army once and for all. It looked like it was very nasty for Nightmare, but he really has been able to just clean up everything, and that is the huge, huge factor. Clutch Void Ray out of nowhere. He's actually had this Void Ray for a long time. This Void Ray has been on the production tag. You remember when I was saying that he was very gateway heavy? He had like 24 Zealots, 23 Stalkers, and 9 High Templar. I saw the Void Ray on the unit tab, then I was like, yeah, okay, he's got a Void Ray for some point in this game too. Just chasing down a lib or so. It actually came in super freaking clutch right there, getting rid of those medevacs and stopping them from just lingering, giving Nightmare the immediate freedom to get back onto the map. Zealot gets a few shots on the orbital. The bio still stimming up. Stalker, Zealot, Colossus just going to come through. Stalker's going to go after the orbital command here. And it's going to begin to drop down. Orbital will fall. Liberators will come about as well as just see all that bio still gathering together. Next is going to complete very shortly. And that links up. Siege tank going down. Fortress still doing its thing and holding this army off. I don't know how much longer for. Army supply is actually even right now. It's just, can you get on top of the tech units here that are going to be a key part of this army from Nightmare? Unit count 10 High Templars still in play. Not a single ghost on the field. That's the issue, right? Like, how do you ever get rid of storms in this scenario? You can't just split from 20 storms. That's completely unreasonable and unrealistic. Fire flying out the right side. Marine Marauder Medevac coming up. So just this army of Nightmare continues to linger around. The supplies are really going into Gumiho's favor. He's going to max out. But he's maxing out on pure bio. And the quality of this army is just not comparable to the quality of what Nightmare is running with at the moment. I think that's really going to be the issue in these dying moments of this game. Stepping through, a little bit of attempted surround with the medevac drop. Storm's already starting to zone out heavily. Gumiho does a good enough job for now. The Prism's super low, by the way. Gonna lose that to the Libs, perhaps? Nope. Let's push back. The bio low as well. We don't even really have that many medevacs to heal. So every stim right now is a dagger through the heart of these bio units. And every storm is going to help in that exact same direction. Liberator goes down. A lot of high energy Templars still ready to join this fight and to storm it up. As Nightmare looks for the cleanup, Gumiho going to lift up and retreat. But he knows he's retreating to nothing. GG called at the 28-minute marker, and Nightmare ties us up 1-1 in this best of 3. Damn. Meanwhile, Maxpax does beat out Ryung to qualify. Surely we don't get 4 Protoss players qualifying today. This looked like such a Terran-heavy qualifier, and now we're on the verge to see more Protoss qualify today than Terrans. Surely not. 10 Protoss qualified out of 24 overall slots for the tournament right now. Crazy stuff. Game 3 will be coming up in a moment. I have to run some ads, guys, because obviously that was a long game. And if we don't run the ads, they will overlap into the game, so run them now. Countdown is on, and we'll be into Tokamak in a couple of moments here for Gumiho Nightmare Game 3. In the bottom left-hand corner, we're going to have this red Terran player. This is going to be Gumiho, as we are tied up 1-1 right now in this best of 3 series. In the top right, Nightmare, our blue Protoss. Alright guys, game 3 of the series. Probe across the map. What an excellent game, number 2 on ley lines. Loved that one. That was a lot of fun. Probe and STV having a little bit of a nibble. I might just being annoying with this probe. It's coming across the map to scout and now just keeps on peering at it. Again, just to reiterate, 4 players qualify today. After those 4 players qualify, there's still some prize money on the line, so players can still continue to compete for $75. First place $50, second place $25. Just a little bit of fun. It gives us an extra couple of games to cast instead of being done as the series ends. It gives us a couple more best of 3s, which just rounds us out to a little bit of a longer stream, a little bit more of kind of what we typically want to see. You know, we always talk about trying to get to like 3+ hours of stream time. You know, it doesn't really feel like a real stream without 3 hours, so that's just what the $75 prize money is there for, to get the players interested in playing a couple more best of 3s, make it a little bit more worth their while to pop out to the qualifier as well. You know, if you had plans and you decided to stay in to play the qualifier, well, it's more than just 2 best of 3s for you now. You know, you qualify and you can also make some money out of it too, so yeah, I like that a lot. So it comes in, Rabbit gets pushed back. We'll see that Adept in position again, going to chase the Reaper back once more. Keeping this pinned away for the moment, so all of this going back for now, getting chased down. Comes back over, and again that blink is on the way. We had a couple of gateways on as well. Yeah, has this group of units. Would love to see faster ones kind of get onto the map. Take some map control, exactly like this Reaper and Cyclone do now. Down to the map, take some map control. You've got the medevac out coming across the map with the Marines as well, so that's going to be the whole idea of this push. And behind it, the Banshee and the Cloak starts up from Gumiho as well. Gumiho won that first game with a very convincing kind of earlier stage of the game. And a push forward that really just kind of put things to end straight after. Now, game 2 went long, and Gumiho is back to what feels like a bit more of an aggressive opening on this one. The medevac on the bottom side does not get in, gets turned around, took a couple of shots, and that will just retreat on home with nothing really to gain anymore. Why don't map makers ever change the shape of mineral lines? Is it always in a compact arch? Isn't it just a radius? I mean, they make hotspots because there may not space in a circle around the base. You mean why not have minerals like over here and stuff as well? Yeah, I mean, I think just accessibility to defend the base, right? The moment you add minerals in, like, it becomes very annoying to move through defensively. Imagine like you have 4 mineral patches here and 4 here, that's instantly chokes and stuff. It could get interesting, but I think it's also very tough to find space like that out on the map without making the map just overly large for no reason. Because actually, like, mineral lines take a lot of space. I'm not sure what happened with these talkers, but if you think about it, from like here to here, that's the amount of space a mineral line takes up, so we like go from here to here. If you put minerals around the other side, like that's a lot of space on the map. So you're basically doubling up space that would become mining space, and then usually you would then feel like, say you do that over here, suddenly all of this is mining space, suddenly then this free space needs to become free space here, and the entire map kind of gets larger, no? Gumiho. He's going to do some damage right now. This Banshee is going to go down. Second Banshee going to try and get to work. The Marines finally show up. Took a little while. Tank has never had a chance to get siege here. Gumiho lost a lot of SCVs setting up into this attack, and now honestly does not feel like he's going to get that much done at the end. Nightmare making a pretty decent hold for himself at the moment. Zal to open in, charge coming up. Banshee tank and a couple of Marines come through as well. Just going to see all of that continue to come online. So you will see this prism going across the map right now. I'm just going to fly in. A couple of these Zelds will unload. The SCV is already going down. Can I just say that asking people to name a game where a Terran won mid to late game versus a Protoss, if nobody answers that, it's probably because the rest of us don't see that as such an amazing occurrence that we take specific note of when a game like that happens and write it down to bring out as a point prover. This is a freaking ridiculous statement. Jesus. You can literally watch the PVTs at EWC and see multiple late game Protoss versus Terrans be won by Terra. It is not a rare event to the state that we're celebrating singular late games won by Terran players. Jesus, man. What's up, Cal? Thank you so much for the 50-month resub. Beyond and Q do it all the time. Bunch of Astraeus games. Yeah, Astraea didn't have a great time in some of those later games. Bjorn actually had a few later games that looked good for him. He had a really good... Game 3 he played against Zaun in the best of 5 they played was really good from Bjorn. Game 3 and 4 of Bjorn Zaun was very solid stuff from Bjorn, actually. Stalkers get that Marine, and we play a bit of cleanup here as Nightmare tries to press down to the bottom left. Bio and tanks gather together. I'm looking for a push in. I tell you what, I really felt like Gumiho was going to be a bit more trouble with the way the opening went, but he stabilized pretty well at the moment. Zald's going to get grabbed. That Prism is half HP, does have High Templar inside, so you want to be careful of it. You don't want to get that go flying off into non-existence. Double Banshee out down. The right hand side as well, that's going to slip on away. Rest of the bio up to the top. This is nice from Gumiho, just going to counter around the left hand side. Now just going to get on top of this Nexus. Oh, that's a massive storm. He's going to eat a second portion of it, but he does lift and leave. How much do we lose though? Stalker's going to get the intercept. One full medevac goes down. One empty medevac takes a beating. Nightmare supply blocked as he continues to play the chasing game. We should be able to sit in the corner here as Gumiho. A couple of Banshee going to try and show up and get some probes perhaps. Actually took a turn back to the right side. Maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe he can't sit safely in that corner. Oh, the feedback is good. Gets the low HP medevac too. Wow, this chase down from Nightmare is turning effective, man. A couple Stalkers here. Gumiho's trying desperately just to get some of these units some extra value before they go down. Turned into a very expensive play from Gumiho. He probably felt like he had a pretty free dive on the base. And just not getting away with any of those units shows how daring and risky of a move it actually was. And you lose everything. Was it worth getting rid of the base for? I mean, to be fair, it's also kept the Protoss army busy. The Protoss army's been chasing those medevacs around a while. What I don't love for Gumiho is the lateness of that armory and engineering bay too. So his 2-2 is heavily delayed from what it could have been. He's losing his upgrade advantage as we speak because the 1-1's catching up from Nightmare, and obviously Gumiho is not extending that lead into 2-2 at this current point in time. Prism blasts over to the left-hand side. A couple of those Banshees going to come straight through. Creep probes going down already. The Stalkers blink across. I'm just going to chase those Banshees away. The pylon in the corner will take a little bit more damage again. Talon goes down, the Stalker's still coming over. So let's join into the fray. The Prism coming back over the left-hand side. And this little bit of army from Nightmare going to step through and get ready to attack into that bottom side of the map here. Vikings get rid of the Prism. That's actually a nice play. The High Templars, 2 of them dropped out. Gumiho just knocking down some of the possible storms available to Nightmare at the moment. Look at the upgrade difference now. Gumiho was so far ahead on 1-1. That really is his own mistake, starting this 2-2 so late. All because he didn't get the armory for such a long time. It really does turn into a very costly affair overall. Such a sad little state of affairs as these three Zealots charge up. And we've seen that bunker going down. Marines taking damage, tanks putting some work in, Stalker's taking shots. Good attack from Nightmare, and Gumiho's army is just not here to respond. He was out of position, so previously Nightmare out of position, now Gumiho out of position. However, same story, right? Once you're out of position, you catch the opponent out of position, but when they come from the other side, you're a little bit stuck. And as you can see, this is a ton of units of Nightmare going down. Gumiho trying to target down some of the Stalkers. Oh, the tank reaches across and gets 2 more at the end. Nightmare loses everything bar 2 Stalkers, which don't even keep moving right now. And Gumiho immediately goes back onto the map, seeing an opportunity to maybe get more damage done himself and make up for the base that he just lost. It's so funny how similar that was to the situation up here when Gumiho killed this base and he lost pretty much everything after. Obviously, it took a little while longer, and that was the big difference. It took longer for Gumiho to lose everything, so Nightmare's army was busy. Here, Gumiho's army can actually come straight across the map. The Warpins will save Nightmare for the moment, though. If Gumiho's army was healthy, I think he'd dive in. But because his army is low HP, the Medivacs have been low on numbers, and they've not been able to stand still and heal for a while, I don't think Gumiho wants to drop another stim, put his army to half HP, and then try and take a fight against a fresh Warpin of Zealots. We're going to get EMPs going off here. A couple of storms are available. So the EMP coming down. Gumiho happy to fight now after a few more units showed up. There's the first storm, and it's actually going to land pretty nicely. Storm on the right side. Now Gumiho's going to start playing Storm Dodge. As he backs up, he honestly got a lot of units here, though. He got rid of a lot of the Zealots. Stalkers blink up. They'd love to catch the Medivacs, and they will get rid of one before the boost comes down. Nexus halfway done. Prism on the way. High Templars, Stalkers, Probes coming online as well. Up on the top side, this Banshee will go after the Stalkers too. Well, High Templar coming about. The army going to go to the right-hand side now. 3-3 upgrades. Zealots on the way. Do Vikings still get some bonuses against a certain type of units on the ground? Yeah, they do bonus damage to mechanical. So Stalkers, for example. So Vikings try those things. Stalkers, Probes. That's why Viking drops in mineral lines are actually very effective. As you can see, Gumiho here, just low HP, but realizes he can take the base down. You can see Nightmare was not willing to kind of step into that fight. So that is a Nexus that will fall. Keeps Nightmare on 4. Going to 5 bases. This 5th base just coming online. Not saturated yet. Fight over here. So first EMP onto the High Templar. The second EMP finally came down after one storm. Not a lot of splash damage, but also just not a lot of healthy Terran units. Medivacs are going to put in the work that they can, but they are drained of energy as well. Any amount of storm right now is going to be super scary, and there it is coming the top side. Those High Templars showing up are going to be the issue for Gumiho, and he has to step away from this. He took a good start to the fight and brave to kind of take the fight as well with such low HP units. But yeah, the storm showing up, and he doesn't really have much High Templar energy Ghost energy right now to hit those High Templars down and to EMP them. That's really what Gumiho needs more of at the moment, to be honest. Only have Nightmare around the left. Depot will take some damage. Stalkers blink in. Double Medivac going down. Stalker Archon, does it want to go much further? Gumiho's supply is still fine. I just think he needs a few moments to A, get Medivac energy back, and B, get some Ghost energy back. Without that, he's kind of playing like no healing, bio units, which does not exactly bode well in my eyes. So yeah, taking a few moments here is definitely the desired effect, I would say. Plus 2 ship weapons still building. 3-3 on the way out. on both sides of the map. Currently, the armies are Stalker and Archon coming through too. Couple storms come in. Those SCVs actually going to pull in to try and go for the repair on the planetary. Oh, it held for a while. Final volley is good, but the final volley means that you actually take a lot more losses, and sticking around those extra seconds gives the Terran more time to close the distance. And while Gumiho loses base 4, he does get some value, but I do worry for Gumiho. Don't have a fourth base anymore. There's a lot of missing income. He's going to float the orbital out back over here. He needs another CC for that right-hand side. I think the thing is that Nightmare still is very well set up on bases in comparison. Well, he was. I was about to say, maybe not for long, but that first storm was good. And actually, Nightmare's army is not too far from jumping onto this army. Gumiho needs to hit the left-hand side too, I think, at the same time, try and make this fight really, truly effective. This is also 3-3 for Nightmare against 2-2 of the Terrans, so... And as the High Templar show up from the other side, this portion of Gumiho's army is in trouble. He's now moving to the top of the map, looking for the next little bit of action, but I think he's bleeding out too many units right now. I think this is absolutely turned into Nightmare's game as a bunch of fascinating trades coming through. This is a really good series between these two. Sorry, bless me. Sneezing a little bit. Observer goes down. Nexus continues to build. Marine Marauder coming up. Couple of shots coming by. Hansard Stalker still taking damage as the Marine Marauder continues through. The Nexus comes about. Shots coming down. The Archon will take some damage at the moment. I mean, Gumiho going to try and stand in this, but he needs to re-secure himself. I think it's almost impossible, though. He needs a base. He needs a base that doesn't exist. Okay, that's a solution. Take the main base orbital over to the left side. Give these SCVs somewhere fresh to mine from. And we're ready to collapse on in, perhaps, as the Zealots charge through. Stalkers looking to get in there as well. High Templars unloading, ready to storm. Gonna see a couple of Zealots dropping in. They're gonna try and get a little bit more damage done. The army trying to shoot once more. Couple of storms coming down. There's a lot of bio eating the storms here. Gumiho, I think, is just going for one final attempt. This is not the kind of fight you take if you really want to win this. GG's. Nightmare gonna take the victory, and he will move to the top 4, and he will qualify. Most notably, he will qualify. GG's. Alright. Cure, Mana, Maxpax, and Nightmare qualifying through. Gumiho Nightmare was a great series to catch. I'm glad we waited around for that one. Sorry guys, sniffly after the sneezing. So Q and Mana already begun, so I think we're just going to go Nightmare versus Maxpax. Because, yeah, Mana and Q are already underway, so... We do get 3 Protoss players qualifying today. Now, it's not the end of the world, because we do obviously have invite spaces remaining, and honestly, I think a lot of the Terrans that did well today, Bunny, Gumiho, are the kind of guys we'd love to invite anyway. Obviously, the Protoss players are the ones where if you don't qualify as a Protoss, it's a little bit like, uh-oh. Because it's very difficult to get an invite as a Protoss when we have so many pros players coming through and qualifying naturally, you know? So that's always a little bit of a factor. So yes. We'll just go into the Nightmare vs Maxpax series, guys, some PvP. Nightmare was one of the guys to give Maxpax a run for his money before Maxpax's PvP, I guess kind of when Maxpax first kind of had some troubles in PvP, actually. A little while ago, there was a series that Nightmare played, WardiTV Festival. This is in September of 2024. It was almost a year ago, but Nightmare 2-0'd him. And I got so excited, and the next time they played, Maxpax 3-0, then 3-0, 2-1, 2-1, 2-0. That was one of the few times Nightmare ever beat Maxpax, and it got me very excited for that, so... Very fun. 11p, 4t, 1z. To be fair, we also had a qualifier where only Protoss players signed up. Like, if all these Terrans that didn't make it a day played in the second qualifier, they would have all qualified, I'm pretty sure. So... I mean, at the end of the day, there's also just more players playing Protoss right now than other races. That's not new information. It's okay, like I say, we'll balance it out with some invites. We've had some good qualifying games. Today's were really good, actually. Today's qualifying games were really good. It's fun. When did Lemon lose today? Lemon lost to Jumi 2-1. And Lemon had some really close calls. Lemon's the kind of player that I'd love to invite as well if we have a Protoss slot left. Because, he's constantly been close. Any random show matches on Wikipedia today? No. No. Today, there was one earlier today between Maru and Hero. Yeah, there was one between Maru and Hero, but it was too early for me to cast. So apparently it was a 4-0 as well. It was also a full off race. Apparently Maru 5-0'd Hero off race versus off race. Oh no, 4-0'd him playing off races, and then they played 1 TVP and Maru won that as well. But yeah, it was at like 9:20 AM. It's like, don't get me wrong, like I was awake, just I had stuff to do this morning, so I couldn't come starting live. Apparently Maru accepted his invite to the Maestros of StarCraft tournament. The French tournament that will have an offline final, so he'll be playing in the online event of that. It's very exciting. I'm working on my tournament format for the end of year championship this year, and I'm really tempted to have like 2 to 4 invite slots for the online the mythologically online players, the players who just never play online events, just in case we can get them to play like a Serral or a Maru and stuff. It'll be fun. Yeah. Alrighty, we'll be resuming soon, guys. Last night, Maxpax just started up a lobby. So it's going to be a bit of PvP, like I say. Mana and Q already started, guys, so they will be already underway in their Protoss vs Terran. So we'll cast this, and then we'll have the final best of 3 after as well. So a couple of best of 3s left today. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, this is a WardiTV event. Obviously just qualifiers right now, but built into the $5,000 Summer Championship. As always, this tournament can only happen with your support. So if you are enjoying the stream, if you're enjoying the competition, if you're enjoying what you're watching, and you're excited for more of it as well, and you want to see us keep on running these events, do consider supporting the stream. And I really do mean it when I say it helps us out a lot. If you take the chance to come out and sub, if you take the chance to, obviously even if you're just watching ads between these games or whatever else, all of it is helping, all of it is allowing us to run more of these events. So, again, if you enjoy the WardiTV tournaments, if you want to see more of them, we put a lot of money into prize pools, we put a lot of money into guaranteeing the players have money to play for If you like that, do consider supporting further. On Twitch, on YouTube, wherever you feel like. Anything helps. Everywhere helps. It's all about, yeah, it's all about you guys supporting and us, giving the players some stuff to play. That's how it's worked for a while. Maxpax in the top right-hand side is the blue Protoss. Nightmare in the bottom left side is the red Protoss. Do I ever feel like PvP ends up being who ends with more Stalkers? Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's the case. But we already saw some pretty interesting PvPs earlier today, to be honest. When I played, whoever has more carriers. Yeah, I love that too. That's funny. If anyone fancies watching this match with a lot of extra camera hotkey spam, Maxpax is streaming. Ooh, isn't that exciting? Cyber core is coming up. Gateway's on the way in. Let's get ourselves settled here for a few moments. We got a probe scout. Nightmare coming across. Maxpax has been very adventurous with his PvP lately. He's been 2-gating, he's been proxying, he's been doing more than just the... He's been playing normal PvP instead of just Maxpax PvP. And it turns out he's really freaking good at normal PvP as well. Would you believe it? He's actually been giving us some great games, some great control. He's so good at manipulating the game in PvP. We used to see this very rarely when the games oddly got to that sort of situation, but the last couple of days when he's been playing more normally, you're seeing it a lot more where the games enter a very normal state, and Maxpax just completely outclasses his opponent. He's harassing here, forcing you over there, and he's attacking over here. He's got a perfect split of units down over there as well. Yeah, it's been very fun to watch, to be honest. I'm actually genuinely kind of getting excited for Maxpax PvPs again, because I really feel like there's something different coming up. This is going to be 2-gate Stargate, but obviously 2-gate Stargate means that it's very difficult to kill, which means the opponent is less likely to try and kill him. I think Maxpax is definitely going to start becoming his comfort build once again, because it gives you the chance to, you know, take control of the map with oracles. You will be behind on Blink, but you can still get Blink at a reasonable time. You're going to have the oracles that you can use defensively with the stasis wards, or keep on harassing with them if that opportunity remains in the game. And I think that's the sort of multi kind of options that Maxpax will love to play with from here on out, as both players drop their expand at the same time. Obviously the expansion from Nightmare coming down with no tech on the field. He has 300 gas. And he's going to start 2 sentries now to spend some of that. 2 probes going down so far, actually, as that's over on the other side of the map. A couple of adepts get... sorry, that's right over here. What am I talking about? Oh, right over here. 2 probes going down. A couple of adepts over there, shade across. Not going to look to do much yet. Gate will be finishing shortly as the couple of adepts... Oh! Okay, actually, they shade in. Yeah, this is... not a good position. I realized it instantly. Good recall. Instantly recognizing that those adepts are dead. So he recalls them and actually saves both. If he didn't recall instantly, at least one would have died to this oracle. Yeah, really good identification that that was not the moment he was looking for. Had a backup plan. Probably kind of believed he was getting in for a second, which is why he lets it finish in the first place. That does mean the adepts aren't on the map for a while longer now, though, so it gives Maxpax a little bit of calm, a little bit more focus on other things, as... do lose one adept out the front here from Maxpax as well. That was still picking up info. And this oracle looks for an opportunity to try and find a mineral line and probes they can jump on. Finds one right there. There's nothing else on this natural just yet, so this oracle will only find the one. Deactivates Pulsar Beam. And a second oracle, I believe, set up to fly into the main. In the next moment or two, into the main we go. Okay, let's show up right away, and it's going to be one more probe going down, so... well handled from Nightmare. Good defense against the oracle so far. Obviously, it is going to keep him pinned back, and you can see Maxpax behind on the Twilight Council Blink. But not so far behind that's going to be terrible, and if he can keep his opponent busy with these oracles, then it shouldn't really matter all that much anyway. That's kind of where we're at the moment. 2 adepts going to shade up. There goes a battery into position. Adepts get chased out of that right-hand side. Oracle activating. Adept continues to get hunted. And more damage being done as the cancellation comes through, and we will just have cleanup being made. So defense is good. Maxpax straight into a 3rd base, and obviously Nightmare's going to match him with that as well. Yeah, I don't think Nightmare's going to feel good about moving onto the map despite the blink advantage. And that's exactly what Maxpax has been hoping to achieve here, pretty much. Oracle overhead, Stalker stepping through. Stasis finishes as the Stalker's going to begin to hit the Nexus. A little bit of damage done there. Stalker's returning fire. The left-hand side, the other few Stalkers gather up. The Oracle will be right there too. Stepping forward, one Stalker blinking back already. The few sentries taking damage. Step back the other way. Stasis Ward catches again on those few Stalkers. So it's actually really nice. Allows Maxpax to keep being aggressive, and he knows it as well. Blinking through, Sentry and a Stalker going down. He's going to get here and get one more Stalker before this battery completes. Talk about aggressively pushing in. That Stalker forced all the way back to the natural. Maxpax will step away to a few reinforcements. These Stalkers come out of the stasis, and we will get to regroup here as Nightmare as he begins to sturdy a defense. +1 starting from both players. Charge already from Nightmare, and he's also going to go into the Immortal as well. More hits coming through. The Stalkers get turned around once again. This is coming into place. More Stalkers warping in right now. Observer gonna be there. I don't think it's possible to do much more here as Maxpax unless you walk into the stasis, but he sees it with the obs and he is going to take it down. So Nightmare is able to pick that off. Here's lots in the sentry coming online. Again, charge +1 coming through here. The gate's coming online. The Nexus halfway done. I'll have a couple more Zealots warped in as well as Stalkers and Zealots gather up at the bottom. Sentry joins together with everything else. +1 charge is coming through here. The Oracle also going to step its way into the front. A couple of Zealots will warp in as well. Anything else here down to that bottom side. The Prism still holding out overhead. Stalker Zealots stepping through the few Zealots. Oh, gonna jump on this. It's actually gonna be Nightmare who finds the opportunity to take a bit of a fight. You know what? Nightmare's army supply right now is very good as well, and it's only gonna be better that he's actually chasing this down currently. There's always this world where it's like, you got a bit more, but by the time you get there, Maxpax finds a defense. But if he's losing units as you're coming across, maybe not quite as much the case. We're going to think about which ramp we want to move up here. Revelation fades. Oh, he's very unsure about it. Nightmare, does he not recognize the opportunity that sits in his lap right now? I think he's scared to go without a Prism, no? It's on its way, but you're waiting a long time. This is giving Maxpax time to get a lot more warp-ins out. 9 probes just went down as well, so the Zealot's causing trouble there. I mean, Nightmare is so far behind workers. He must go with this army, and I'm pretty sure he knows that. He just wants to make sure it's the best possible chance he has because the Prism's going to be available. Did he end up waiting too long? He's still up 20 army supply as this fight begins. Goes back for the moment. Good force field's actually going to keep a lot of the units away. Lets his Zealots get an overwhelming fight. The Prism, though! No, it was in reach of a cannon? Oh no, he waited so long for this Prism only to lose it way too soon, way too early. 20 army supply lead still, but how long will that last? He needs to overwhelm right now because his warpins have to walk from the other side of the map. He still has the upgrade kind of similarities. The upgrade lead will kick in from Maxpax in 20 seconds or so. This Immortal honestly held on quite nicely. He continues to chase Maxpax down and he's doing what he needs to do. He's overwhelming. He's not giving Maxpax recovery time. We blink over, going to get the pylon here that denies the Robo from getting a new Immortal up. That's a big deal as well. Only deal with, gateway reinforcements. There is an Observer, so DTs are not the answer here for Maxpax either. That warping costs him a good amount of money, and this base at the very least is going down. Like I say, we're just warping in from across the map, but Nightmare is keeping the momentum on his side, and he's looking as though he might have Game 1 in his favor. Comes across here. Trying to get the Observer out. I imagine we want an Observer. If you can get an Observer, you might be able to snipe the opponent's Observer, and that might just be what Maxpax sees as his one, real way to victory at this moment with this amount of units up in his face. But the Robo's going to go down, so that will just not happen. And we are going to just, honestly, I just don't think we need to do anything else. Sit on this natural and take this fight. The units are still here. We have seen some more harass across the map the Nightmare does somewhat maybe need to deal with. But now it's kind of fine, though. He's still absolutely okay. Not enough Zealots on the side of Maxpax to make a difference. The Immortal is going to go down, but boy, did it add a lot of value into this. 55 to 20 army supply. Obviously, at this point, Maxpax has lost so much economy as well. More Zealots going down. Okay, we do not have Zealots who are able to warp directly into this fight as Nightmare because he's having to reinforce from across the map, but they are arriving now as we blink on top of these Stalkers, and GG gets called. Nightmare takes the opening game off of Maxpax. Hits the timing he had to hit, and works wonders with it. 1-0 lead here for our Korean Protoss. Retired? How about on the way to the finals? Nightmare retired, decided to just come back and start wrecking people. Yeah, kind of crazy, no? kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. All right, game 2 coming up. Get that ready to go. Mana 2-0 Cure. Mana's just popping off today. Jesus, Mana on a roll as well. Tired? No. Refreshed. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, Mana 2-0 Cure apparently as well. Man, I'm not sad we missed it, because actually kind of happy to see this PvP go in the way of Nightmare right now. Obviously might still turn around, but like, geez. Some results in this qualifier, huh? Some results in this qualifier. How about that? And get ready to hop into game 2 here in a second. Alright, let's hop in. As we are going to see to the bottom left-hand side, the Blue Protoss player who's going to be down a game. This is Maxpax. You don't get to say that about him a whole lot in the PvP, as Nightmare takes the 1-0 advantage. Maxpax said he didn't get why he lost. Why? I mean, he just got hit by someone who committed to units and did not commit to the +2, did not commit to as many workers or 4th base. He got caught on the map, lost a few units on the map, and then couldn't garner the defense, right? Kind of what it comes down to. Okay, about to finish up. Just gonna have the second gate Cybercore coming down. We get ready to rumble. Probe chasing probe. We get settled in for a moment or two. Let's look to see where we're gonna go. Get the work camping on the production. He just wasn't set up. Like, he was investing into a lot of things that just weren't yet ready. And that's fine, but like, the attack really just came at the right time from Nightmare, no? Like, sometimes I don't think it needs to be rocket science. And I don't think this really was a case of rocket science in the slightest. I think there's just a very simple and clear-cut case of, like, we were... if this attack hits 30 to 60 seconds later from Nightmare and doesn't catch any of those units out in the center, yeah, then I think he's... then I think Maxpax holds. The thing is, Nightmare made this work, though, while also losing his Prism almost. Like, he waited for the Prism, and then he lost his Prism. So he actually kind of, you know, he made this work despite that even. I think is an even crazier stance in a lot of ways. A couple of Adepts coming over. Adepts moving across. A couple of Adepts going to begin to fight for a little bit. Some shots coming through. Stork continues to ping, some damage dealt. Adepts taking a few more hits already. As the Adepts continue up, the Warp Gate coming in, the Oracle coming in on the other side. Another Warp Gate coming up as we speak, and the batteries will build as well. So next is on both sides of the map. Again, the few Adepts making their way down and across just for now. The bottom left we go. These Adepts going to get caught by the Oracle. They can't really fight back or anything. It's absolutely worth the Oracle activating to get kills here. The Adepts will shade away. One going down. Leaves us with 3 Adepts on the map as the Oracle goes across the map while a bit lower on energy. Did not get an overcharge early, right? So this Oracle is not super juiced up. If it activated, it would not be able to activate for long. There's a battery in the main mineral line as the Adepts add the shade into the main. 2 of them going to attempt the shade now. The other Adept's going to try and shade as well. Okay, interesting scenario now, because now we're actually going to see the Adepts not going to get in, but it does mean they're going to start getting some probe kills, but actually very well handled and not very well handled by Nightmare. So Maxpax does a really good job of blocking the Adepts and actually running the probes around, and Nightmare does not do a good job of target firing with the Adepts, doesn't find much opportunity. Stasis Ward is good from Maxpax as well, gets 4 probes and denies the rest from Mine for a little bit. And Nightmare is definitely going to be in a little bit of trouble early in this game too. Those Adepts did not do what he needed them to, and he gave up a lot of units here so far without any real net value gained at the moment. Stasis finishing up at the front. Gives Maxpax some aggressive opportunity. He can start poking here with the Stalkers and then pull back to the Stasis and try and bait his opponent into it. It's just a certain point at which you can't keep on chasing then as Nightmare, which is frustrating. Already loses a pylon at the front as well. One more Stalker going down. The other couple Stalkers chase back again. Oracle activates 2. 3 workers going down. Oracle very nearly dropping 4 HP remaining. 1 HP left for each kill it's had. Still nice though, getting a few of those probes, and it really does just rip you down a little bit on the economy side as Nightmare in a game where you've not exactly been leading or anything. So you Stalkers step into the Stasis. You don't really hate it, it's whatever. I was to say at this point, Maxpax is backed away, so setting off the Stasis, set its duration out now. He should be fine. Like I say, Maxpax is not poised to take advantage of that any longer, so... Blink taking along, about to finish up on the side of Maxpax. We'll see the other Stalkers and the Oracle looking to move through as well, looking to head to that upper right-hand side. Stasis coming through, another Oracle looking to set up once more. Stasis down again, we blink up, Stalk has to back away, DTs. We're going to try and come through as well. So you can see the DT swinging. Protection is on the way. Observer's coming up. It's not ready yet, so this is kind of survival time. Stalkers blink into the main base as everything ran around to the low ground. Again, just causing chaos, basically, is the entire MO of this from Maxpax. Let the DTs do their work, cause chaos so they have the most time possible to do their thing. Only gets 2 probes in the end, so doesn't actually even get that much out of this. What's up, Matt JK? How you doing? Thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. Good to see you. Stalker caught in the Stasis Ward. And his charge and +1 continue to come through. Prism the Stalker's building up. Stalkers and Sentries gathering. Accepts an Oracle. It's a nice little something. That Stalker, Blink not ready. Oracle gets away, so that Oracle is gonna live. Nice to at least keep one alive. Really felt like we were gonna lose both of those a few moments ago. Again, +1 charge, the Zealots. Bit of everything coming to bat. The robotics facility will be building as well on the natural. On to those few Stalkers, a few more Stalkers warping in. Nightmare has an army supply lead again. Same idea as last game, just on a different base count. He didn't go to base 3, whereas his opponent has gone to base 3 this time. Last game I was talking about. Fourth base, no! Walks into the stasis. So that's not going to do it for you as Nightmare, because now Charge is going to finish, and +1 is a very good chance of finishing as well. And you're just stuck on a stasis. At least you didn't blink into the stasis, so blink is not on cooldown. Well, it is, but not by much. Maxpax is going to start fighting this. He's going to start committing already. Couple force fields came down. He's also got the Guardian Shield to help him in a lot of ways. Those extra Stalkers are going to show up, and they're going to fight from the other side. But now they're move commanding. Where are we going? Nightmare? Bro? I mean, honestly, if he just came out of stasis and he started attacking with them, he missed like 3-4 volleys with those Stalkers. Like, look how close this still is. Imagine those Stalkers had just started fighting from the very moment they popped out. That would have been a huge opportunity. I think Maxpax has too much defensive capability right now for Nightmare to still win this, but that's a moment where if you attack with those Stalkers, you never know. It might just be what you need to tip this over the edge and to push this just into your favor. GG says Nightmare. We're going to go to game 3, but that was... I definitely feel like an opportunity for Nightmare still, even despite the stasis. Felt like maybe there was a bit of hope. Doesn't quite play out like that, and now we are tied 1-1 in this semi-final. Obviously, these guys all qualified for the Summer Championship, now playing for a little bit of prize money that's on the line today as well. When we get to game 3 in a moment, Maxpax will host us into this third and final map of the semis. Mana waiting in the finals for what will be more PvP, guys. Yeah. Hopefully fun PvP, though, if nothing else. Go GLHF. What was happening in Nightmare's main during that? I think it was DT. Yeah, but I didn't go and look at it because I just thought the fight was going to decide everything anyway. It was either the DT or the Oracle, one or the other. Take your pick. So, Nightmare, I can say similar vibe in game 2 as he had in game 1, just an earlier stage of the game. See what the vibe will be for game 3. As we have in the top left-hand corner, the blue Protoss player is Maxpax. Up against the red Protoss in the bottom right corner, we're going to have ourselves Nightmare. Caitlyn Assimilator coming online, gets set up for the moment. Maybe 2 gateways each once more. Maxpax really is settling into this newer way of playing PvP for himself, which is kind of the older way of playing PvP overall. Yeah, settling that down. And just keeping it constant, if nothing else, as well, for sure at the moment. Sniper on the way, gates coming up. Following a probe around. We see some scouts coming through, waiting for the Cybercores to be finished. That's when we start to learn a little bit more about what we go into here. Adept Stalk are going to be the initial choices from Maxpax. Same from Nightmare. Maxpax having to leave his one gate expand build is the saddest thing. Is it though? Is this not more entertaining? I feel like the games from Maxpax are going to be even more entertaining now. Like, it was very cool that he was able to play his own style and be so good at it. But the actual quality of watching the games is terrible. People just trying to all in him and fail. It's like every time. It got a little repetitive, you know? Oh, this is going to be Stargate versus Stargate, by the way. So we're going to see Phoenix versus Phoenix coming up. Most likely. Typically in Stargate versus Stargate, it ends up at this sort of point where you do kind of get to the stage of just both building Phoenix, and if that's the case, neither player can stop. Dr. Jason, adept at being hunted. Just for a moment or two. They're trying to move up. Oracle and the Warp Gate still making its way in. The next in the still coming online. That Oracle will start up again. That's the end of the Adept. Follow this Oracle across the map and see if it can find much. There's a couple of Adepts from Maxpax that will try and find their opportunity as well in the near future. Try to see what's going on. Next that should come in, play the cleanup on the Oracle. It's actually going to be interesting. Nightmare's going to be on a bunch of the Phoenix. His opponent is going to be on no Phoenix and just going to try and go into the Twilight Council. So that's going to be kind of fun. Phoenix stepping about and get rolling. Going to be having the blink starting through the Twilight Council building. Going to start losing probes to the other Oracle that came out. He wasn't expecting Oracle 2. This is a suicide mission here from Maxpax. And boy, is it a good one. 14 probes going down. Damage is dealt. Man. Phoenix player feels like they're meant to take control of the game, but Maxpax just wins the mind gamery and is able to come out advantaged there. That's, kind of sad for Nightmare, because honestly I feel like the setup for him in general was very nice. Now obviously the economy is in absolute tatters, and I don't know what you... Well, I do see what you do. He's going to Dark Shrine it, which is probably the Hail Mary play he needs. No detection on the map currently from Maxpax. If he skips the Robo, he could be in trouble. Obviously, he could still build an Oracle, but the Oracle is targetable by the Phoenix at least, right? So you have got a way to potentially deny detection. And if he doesn't get the Observer out, then the DTs have a chance, and that basically is what we have to rely on right now, because everything else is not exactly looking great at the moment. Dark Shrine halfway done. The Phoenix flying through, I feel like almost want to try and buy some time. They're like, hey, you know, look at me, look at me. Isn't Maxpax the king of Phoenix Wars? Yeah, he's very good in Phoenix versus Phoenix. Like, very, very good. But being very good in Phoenix versus Phoenix is not necessarily just... I mean, you got to know this was going to be Phoenix first as well. You didn't know it was Stargate on Stargate for a bit, I think. Dark Shrine's not ready, so Nightmare's just in trouble. He pulls the probes. The Robo Facility starting. That's going to be more than good enough. Nightmare's not even going to get to warp in GTs. He knows the DTs don't salvage this situation. Even if the Robo wasn't up, he's going to have to show the DTs defensively. Now, the Robo will have time to build at home. Or, in this case, the Oracle will have time to build at home as well. So I think he just knows it's not going to happen. Nightmare with a great effort. Qualifies, of course, but no prize money on the qualifier, as it will be Maxpax to take this top 2 spot and fight against Mana in the finals. So we'll hop on over to Europe and get ready to go into a Maxpax Mana little PvP best of 3 final for the day, guys. Beautiful. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. Cool. Alright, we'll get Mana and Maxpax ready to rumble, guys. Thanks for joining us. Let's get into our final series of the day. Appreciate you all. Fear Dragon 64 on the 150-month resub. Thank you so much. Hey Wardy, just wondering, can we make it official that NA is the worst region in StarCraft 2? I really hate the NA players and I just want more reason to shit on them. Fear Dragon, that's a little bit of a negative point of view. Especially coming from you, such a one-time big believer in the NA scene. I get it though, you know. That's not what you wrote? That's funny. Like, that's what I read. God damn it, Fear Dragon. You know what it is? It must just be that I'm so used to reading your messages and knowing they're just full of nonsense that I just read my own nonsense instead. My bad. My bad. These new fancy glasses. Why would Fear Dragon do this? I know. You would think after 115 months you would become a well-adjusted subscriber, and it's just not been the case. Alright, BO3 coming up in a sec. Ba-da-da-dum. Yeah, final best of 3, guys. We don't, there's just a little bit of prize money up for grabs, and the main part of this was a qualifier. We do not mind them playing a best of 3 finals, so this isn't meant to be some super long, drawn-out, best of 5 for $25 difference. I think a best of 3 finals is very fair given the event that we're covering, basically. Ready? GL, HF. We're counting down into Maxpax Mana PvP best of 3 final today. Let's see what we get. Loading into Tokamak. Start us off. Can Mana suss out the more normal form of PvP that Maxpax is now playing? Which is difficult because it's then Maxpax playing a different style to what he's used to, and if you're thinking about how you usually play against Maxpax, not a lot of that logic and so on applies in this situation anymore, so definitely something a bit funky in that regard to kind of think on, honestly. It's kind of interesting. Maxpax top right, Mana bottom left. PvP begins now. Cannabis coming out. We will see the probe up to the top on a little bit of a move around for the moment. Gates coming through, the assimilator's coming online. And set up for now as you just see the couple gates. The assimilator already Mana with this probe off to the side. Feeling like a little bit of a pesky probe, definitely looking to at the very least hide a pylon here. We'll see if he wants to use that pylon to capitalize on the game later on, or what the idea might be. Cybercore goes down for the moment. Obviously, as Maxpax moves around this main base, he's watching for possible additional pylon coming down. His second pylon comes down over here. And as he doesn't see one, he'll know there's a possibility or almost a definite proxy pylon on the map. The question just is that pylon going to be used, like I say, to actually build something with, or are we just going to build that pylon and then leave it alone? Well, we can see that Mana keeps his probe next to it, so it is going to be used to build something here. So Mana will be aggressive as he drops down the Twilight Council. One base blink, fast DTs, both an opportunity to kind of set up for himself at the moment, so he has some options and choices there. Gate's still coming through, the Stalkers are still building. Throw back out into the middle of the map, heading over that right-hand side for the moment. Two Stalkers going to be popping out as well, just going to get those straight out. As the Stargate builds on the main, the Adept going to get into the center as well. And the Stalkers still making their way out the other side too, so again, a little bit of setup for the moment. Let's get the Blink and the Stalker production continuing to build. So it's just Blink, one extra gateway coming down. I'm going to be seeing a lot of Stalkers from Mana trying to get damage done. Against the Stargate setup of Maxpax, obviously we'll see what he can do with that. Obviously he'll build Oracles. As he builds Oracles, they can obviously be A, used aggressively, but B, Stasis Wards defensively here could be very good as well. Man, that was very good from the Adept. 4 probes going down. Very successful mission into the main base. One Adept killing 4 probes is absolutely ridiculous. I had to double check it was one Adept because it was almost too good to be true for one Adept. And Maxpax knows something is up as well. He's realizing that not everything is there right now, so he starts a Void Ray preparations to deal with his opponents being a little bit tricksy against him. So he gets that prep up and online. We do have ourselves the gateway coming through, additional Stalkers, and the Blink still coming up as well. Void Ray still coming online as well. So it's about to pop. Mana with the full 4 gates of Blink Stalkers ready to warp in. More Stalkers coming from the bottom side, heading through the center of the map. A couple Stalkers on the top side, warp in already. Probes going down as the Oracle activates. Gets a couple of kills. Stalkers keep on moving across here and would love to get involved. Void Ray already actually going to take some damage. Stalker goes down. You can see that Stalker still continuing to come up here for the moment. Another Stalker warping in. Robotics facility is about to finish up as well, so we'll see the Robo done from Maxpax, ready to take this transition into another stage. What's scary is that he's actually only built the one Void Ray, so the switch to the Immortal is going to take a while to get there, and that's going to give Mana some serious time to get damage done. And has Maxpax been a bit greedy going to that Robo facility? I think the answer is quite clearly yes. He has been a bit too greedy. GG, and Mana takes game 1 of this best of 3. I think Maxpax just underestimated this a little bit. Felt like he could get the Robo up and the Immortal defense running, and that just was not the case at all. Obviously, that completely backfired. GG. And we go to a game 2 with Mana in the lead 1-0. Maxpax checking the replay. Maybe just misunderstood what Mana was up to as well, possibly. Some wild stuff. Dum 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 dum. Lobby is up. Joining. Get us going. Yeah, I think Maxpax misread how aggressive this was going to be. He clearly felt like he had time to get the Immortal online, and that was just not the case. If you can get, this is why like switching to Robo for the Immortal is very good in this scenario. But you have to survive there, which is why you don't typically see that happen until there's 2 or 3 Void Rays up at the very least. Yeah, this was, I think Maxpax misread a little bit of what was going on, honestly. Misread a little bit of when Mana was going to attack or what with, because, yeah, building the Robo that quickly was surprising. Game 2. In the top left-hand side. Down a game will be our Red Protoss player, Maxpax. And in the bottom right, our blue Protoss is Mana, up 1. Second series in a row where Maxpax starts down a map. Let's see if Mana can complete what has been a pretty sick run from him today. Probe coming across, getting set up. See Maxpax scouting in to see what's going on. No cheeky probe anywhere this time around from Mana. Gonna mix up his build order here for this game number 2. Going back over. And Cybercore's coming up, Gates coming online. There's the pylon from Mana, so it's not proxy pylon number 2 that comes down. Oh no, sorry, it is. It is proxy pylon 2 that comes down, so it's the same pylon as last game. Surely not the same build here in total, though. We've got to think. All the depths coming through. Stalker. Maybe we do just drop a Twilight here from Mana. Needs a bit of minerals before he drops whatever he wants, but he doesn't have too much gas right away. I guess he'll have 150 now. Robo. Robo's only 100 gas building, but I'm gonna go Robo then for this second game, so just switch it up. This is where the Stargate Void Ray defense should do very well, because Void Rays don't really deal well with the, obviously they deal very well with the Immortals, and they can also push the Prism back as well, which limits so much, a lot of the Prism play too. Stargate still coming up, Stalker and the Warp Gate continue to come about. Left-hand side, Probe continues to gather in. Gonna go on a little bit of a move up. The Adepts did see everything, so Maxpax knows what he's playing against as well, so this game, no opportunity to slip up or anything in terms of knowing what's coming. So let's get that Adept. Prism Chrono roosting out. Stalker's building. Adept getting chased over that right side. Stalker's going to get there. Adept will get taken down. Prism loads up those Stalkers. Going to take a journey toward the main base. Going to drop those off in the near future. Stalker's unloading. Probe going to take some damage. The other Stalker going to get jumped on for a couple of moments. Stalker going to warp in. We move back and forth. Prism takes another little shot of damage. Continue to move across right now. Probes keep on dropping. Going to try and unload to the low ground. One more Stalker being jumped on already. Now these Stalkers going to come back into the main base. Continuing after those other Stalkers here. We'll see Mana getting the damage going early. Going after this pylon at the front. Maxpax will be close to a supply block from this. I'm just going to relocate to the low ground. Low HP Prism, so you can't afford too much here. What's obviously interesting is this one base versus one base. The Prism's going to go down. Mana, I don't want to say he got greedy, honestly, but he still had that Prism. It was still fairly far forward, all things considered. Like, if you just come down this ramp, it's not like the Prism was hidden away, and the Stalkers were not exactly stood well in front of it. So not as well protected as it should have been. Going to nearly lose another Stalker, chasing for the Stalker that does not take the extra hit to die. And Maxpax supply blocked, but as he breaks out of that, has found a defense here initially. Oh, Oracle just died across the map, so a couple of stays towards being an annoyance, but Mana will get a new Prism up. And this game goes on. I mean, the issue right now for Mana is that obviously his Robo is exposed on the map. So if he ever loses map control, that's instantly -1 Robo facility, and just, you know, basically your tech choice for Mana is taken out. I think this is still playable for Mana, though. Obviously, there's going to be an Immortal out from Maxpax as well, so I don't see too much opportunity aggressively maybe anymore for Mana, but... I mean, even if he just sits here and, like, pokes away at the gateways a little bit and kind of, you know, controls that area, and then... You know, we could kind of play a longer game from here. Like, yes, the Robo will probably go down eventually, and that's an issue, but that's not the case just yet. Try to go after that pylon. Going to come over to the side. Start taking some hits. Mana is the one to take a few shots on his Immortal right off the bat. Oh, Maxpax actually trying to make a play, going across the map with his Prism and the 2 Immortals. It's actually a very feisty play, and Mana identified it immediately. He did not fear the possibility of his opponent still being there. He stepped up, so he read exactly what Maxpax was going to do and chose to attack into it, which is the right call. Now both the gateways, one depowered, one killed. Maxpax really taking opportunity and running with it there a little bit. It's very smart because it's absolutely the right call from Maxpax. He should, in theory, be safe up here, but he made a little bit of a mistake, and same thing as he tries to move forward with the Prism a little bit. We are going to see Mana abusing once again. Both gateways died. There's one gateway on the far left, so we still have some gateway uses right now. The Prism, again, a little bit of a scary place, but Maxpax is also bleeding out units. His micro is not being as clean as usual here. Mana needs to be super careful with his Immortal. It's super low. I'm going to say that Immortal needs to jump back into the Prism already. Prism taking shots as well. And Mana lost a lot on the tail end of this. The last few moments of this fight were not as pretty, especially losing the opportunity to do as much with the Prism. The probes are going to be not mining for a moment or two, though, because of the Adepts, which do shade out alive. I think the scary thing right now is the mortal count is getting higher, and that means the deadliness of these armies is definitely kind of really right on up there. A few good Immortal shots landing versus not landing can make the world of difference right now, as the Adepts are going to shade into the mineral line again, once again forcing lost mining time. Okay, Mana's going to find himself the Cyber Core, which means that then Maxpax is really limited on what he can build out the gateways. Again, some Prism Micro, so many units in the back trying to kind of just deal with those Adepts, and dealing with those Adepts is costing you big time. Mana cancels an Adept warp in here as he realizes the necessary retreat being made. Oh my goodness, he just saves that Immortal. Again, getting a little bit scrappy on his retreat, but Maxpax losing an Immortal as well, getting out microed in the Immortal war. Mana, 3 Immortals super low. He could really do with the shields regenerating on those, because they're super close to going down. We're going to see them lifting up, dropping down. He's going to get another Immortal of Maxpax. Maxpax has been out microed. Mana absolutely outplayed him here. It's a rare thing to say, but Maxpax got out microed hard on the Immortal war. That was super sick from Mana, continuously lifting up those super low HP Immortals, actually still surviving, and Maxpax missing the saves on his own Immortals that were healthier. That is a micro victory, 100% from Mana. Wow. Mana on a hell of a run. What a day for him. Mana's in the replay, man. Mana's like, what? I did this? Mana getting the win on the qualifier. How about that? A little bit of a fun result to wrap us up on the Summer Championship qualifiers, huh? Mana popping off? Yeah, man. I have been telling you guys for a while, Mana's been freaking good, but I think it's fair to say that was a little bit surprising. Mana yesterday lost to Percival, the day before. Yeah, oh, he didn't play in this one. The day before in the qualifier he did play, and he lost to Shin. I haven't seen him qualify, but man, that's still kind of crazy. What's up, Grown Mime? Thank you so much for the 44-month resub on the Prime. Mime with the Prime. Thank you very much. I appreciate it and hope you're doing great. Finals are not best of 5. Yeah, the challenge description is just a copy-paste. It's a best of 3. The players are informed of this. They knew this. Is there another qualifier tomorrow? No. Tomorrow we're actually going to be casting the Liu Li Cup. So tomorrow you'll be able to watch. Let me find it on Wikipedia. Tomorrow we'll be watching this, which is going to be. So tomorrow we have a double stream. So tomorrow we're going to be having the Liu Li Cup, which is going to be a $400 cup run by a Chinese member of the community. You can already see some of the signups. Bunny, Zaun, Nico Rex signed up. Nice, Gumiho, Beyond, Classic, Ryung, Hua. This is open sign-up, so honestly, expect a lot of the players that usually play the online cups to come and participate. These are just players who have signed up early. Obviously, there's going to be more players that can sign up beyond this. And then let me just come out and make sure I don't show you guys some random screen or anything. And then afterwards, tomorrow, we're going to be casting the Youth Thermal 2v2 tournament, which looks a bit like this. So tomorrow is going to be Youth Thermal's 2v2 tournament. We're going to be casting the group stages of this over the weekend. So tomorrow we have that $400 cup into the 2v2 event, which is going to be featuring players such as Cyril, Maxpax, Youth Thermal, Jim, Skillless, Wayne, Trigger, GG Machine in Group A. And Group B, Goblin, Yakov, Elaser, Shameless, Showtime, Lambo, Spirit, and Nicorakt. That's going to be... and others as well. That's not the full list. It's just players in round 1 or the first match of each group that I read out. But yeah, so tomorrow's going to be a $400 cup into this $10,000 plus... I think $15,000. Yeah, $15,000 2v2 event, which is super sick. Like, these games are actually very important. Like, people meme on 2v2, but tomorrow's 2v2 is going to be... super sick. And this is also a very interesting format, by the way, because what happens is in each of your groups, you get paired with random people. So you actually play one series with every player. And you play against another pairing, which is at random. So in the group stage, you aren't just entering as a team. You're entering as a player, and you play one match with everyone else in your group. And you're competing within that group to obviously kind of get wins, right? And obviously, like, a win's always good for you, but a win will be good for your opponent, for your teammates, and then what your opponent in one match could be your teammate in the next as well. Like, for example, Uthermal's going to be playing against Skillless in match 1. He's going to play with Jumi against Skillless and Wayne, and he's going to be playing with Skillless against Trigger and Rain later in the day. So that's super cool. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. That will be tomorrow evening. So yeah, tomorrow's a longer stream, guys. We'll have 4 hours of the 1v1 event into 6 best of 3s 2v2 style. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It is going to be fun. Cool. So yeah, we'll be covering that tomorrow. And yeah, let's just show you guys quickly what the Summer Championship qualified players are at the end of all of our Summer Championship qualifiers. We have had, from the Protoss race, Classic, Creator, Art, Christiana, Shameless, Zaun, Goblin, Hero, Mana, Maxpax, and Nightmare qualifying. From the Terrans, we've got Bjorn, Percival, Spirit, and Cure, and the Zerg qualification spot goes to Shin. We will have some invites already set. For example, Solar will be already playing as one of the invites. Should you rename it to the PvP Summer Championship? No. It's not that extreme. It's not that extreme. You might want to change this part, though, because there's just going to be 8 invites, and the Group Stage 2 players are going to be based off of the Spring Championship. So if you... So the top 4 from the Spring Championship will get Group Stage 2 invites. So Maxpax, Zaun, and Classic. I don't know if Clem's going to play, but these 3, and then... yeah, the 4th player, if we... Yeah, I'm not sure. If we don't... yeah, if Clem doesn't play, then maybe we take... Maybe take a European League? Yeah, I'm not sure what we do for the 4th one in that case, but I'm sure we can figure something out, so... but yeah, that's going to be what that's based on. So yeah. But yeah, very fun. It's been awesome. I hope you guys have enjoyed. And we'll be back with more StarCraft 2 tomorrow. Like I said, double whammy tournament action tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to have 2 tournaments for the price of 1. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I don't really have much else to add. I'm going to head off. Yeah, yesterday was the 1 month until our wedding date. So everybody email. Apparently exactly 1 month before is the exact time everybody emails you asking for everything. So we're gonna go and do a whole bunch of things basically. So yeah, I'm gonna go sort that stuff out and get on track and yeah, just do some life admin stuff. Hope Gumiho and Bunny are invited. Yeah, there's a very obviously we will prioritize players from the qualifiers on invites. I gotta find some Zergs as well. But players like Bunny and Gumiho who got close in one of the qualifiers have a very good chance of being invited. So, you know, these are players we want to take part in the event, obviously, as well. So, it only makes sense to invite them. You know, at the end of the day, I am, you know, trying to run a good StarCraft 2 tournament, so I know how to do that. Well, I think I know how to do that. Alrighty, guys, you guys have a great rest of your day. Appreciate you all. You guys have a good one. And when we come back, it'll be tomorrow. Until then, Harstem just raided us because he's an idiot and doesn't check if I'm finished before hosting. This guy. I'm just gonna host Roddy playing Mecha Billiam because I don't really see anyone else live in StarCraft. I want to host that. I've hosted a few people recently already, so let's do that. Alright, guys, have a great rest of your day. Appreciate you all. Some ads on the outro. Once the ads are done, we'll do that hosting. Will be a YouTube upload later. Maxpax Clem is going to be the YouTube upload today, so if you want to check that out on the YouTube, I'll put the link in the chat. The YouTube upload goes up in about 3 hours, but the most recent YouTube upload is also Clem versus Reno, so great matches over there. Really helps us out if you hit the sub button on YouTube. I want to get back into telling people to do that, because, well, actually, as some kind, we broke the 46k mark on YouTube, and now we're ever closer to hitting 50,000 subs. Like, it's the slowest going process of all time, but we will get there. We will get to 50,000 YouTube subs, and then we'll be halfway to getting a silver YouTube button. Yeah, is that ever going to happen? Probably not. But this one's been pretty good for it. We had a very good couple of days here and there. But yes, there'll be the YouTube. Check it out. Hit the sub button there. It actually does help us. Awesome. I will see you guys. Oh yeah, you said Maxpax lost. He hasn't won in so long. He won the Monday Cup on Monday. He broke his curse. He's back. Just not in this qualifier. Alright, guys, I'm going to send you guys off. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.